What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agree to Disagree, and we got Sixers, Celtics preview on tap. Let's go.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! You're flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time. Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc, make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, Nick Delgazzo, Greg Malakovic, Brian Wilson. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. We got a lot to talk about on the show tonight. We'll do the Crumb of the Week. We do it every show. We'll deliver it at the end of this one. Stay tuned for it. Eagles draft recap. We'll give you our grades, which, I don't know how anybody's out of an A, but we'll talk about it. Harper returned this week. Could get cleared as of tomorrow. And if he's cleared tomorrow, could be making his debut Tuesday. We'll talk about, is that rushed? Is that okay? And what does everybody think about it? And are you excited? And the Phils take 2 out of 3 versus Houston. They lose tonight. In the getaway day game, or getaway night game, I should say. And they're on their way to LA to face off against the Dodgers. So we'll talk a little bit about that series, the return of Harper. Philly's playing really good baseball right now. So we'll get into all that. Second part of the show, our main topic at hand, Sixers, Celtics series preview. Ties into our poll question, brought to you by our good friends over at Baggio's Bread. They're located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. They're the home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs. You name it, mention HUD Radio and get 10% off your in-store purchase by using code A2D Radio. Real simple, Baggio's Bread, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Our poll tonight, and stop me if it's Groundhog's Day. Despite Joel Embiid not being 100%, the Sixers will still defeat the Celtics this series. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, join the conversation tonight. Let us know what you're thinking. I would love to come into this series with a healthy Joel and all things being equal, but that's not been our playoff MO, right? This hasn't been the way we are in the playoffs for years. We don't know what that feels like. And here we are again. All right, here we are again. But unlike other years, this might be the best team, per se, right? We might be the deepest we've been, or at least talent-wise, we're better. Not take away the Jimmy year, obviously, right? But other years when we've lost Joel, I don't know if we were as talented, right? So I'm hoping with, the playoff, not only the playoff emergence, but the emergence of Tyrese Maxey, that he can be big in this series because he hasn't been good against Boston all year. So you come into it and you're already like, well, that's not good. But you hope this can change. We talk about it all the time. This is how things end. This is how they end. Not a curse to win, the NBA Finals here, but our own curse to get out of the second round of the goddamn playoffs. We're not even talking about getting we're not even talking about getting to the finals, like a curse of getting to the finals, which has been over 20 years. We're talking about a curse of just getting out of the damn second round here.
Gets to a conference final.
Like, we don't even know what that feels like, right? So, and it's against the big bad Celtics who have owned this year, right? And everything Vegas-wise leads to them, right? Everything on paper without Joel leads to them. So all those things lead to them. But guess what? You still got to play it, babe. You still got to go play it. And we're not terrible. We're not terrible. We're good. We got guys who can go drop 30 in a night. So it's not like we're incapable of that as a team. And just give me 90% Joe. 90% Joe. So despite Joel not being 100%, I do agree that they're still going to beat him. I had him in 7, and I'm sticking to 7. And all 7 showed me was they went to 6 versus Atlanta. Right? And Atlanta had a terrible year. Right? They really had a terrible year, Atlanta. We know they can be dangerous. Right? But most of us said, all right, that's 5. Maybe Atlanta steals 1. Right? Atlanta stole 2. And if there's a time to be without Joe center-wise, it would be this series, right? Because, not without him, but maybe, he's only playing 30, right? Is this series because they don't have the size. They don't have that like true big man where Paul Reed, can't defend, right? Or get really overmatched in the post by who? Horford?
He's threes now.
Yeah, they don't really have that.
Going to post.
They don't even really have that back to the basket guy anyway, per se. But I still think Joe plays. I'm not going to be like, oh, he's definitely playing game one. I think there's a better chance of him playing game one than there was. So I think he plays, and I think we win this series in 7. I'm sticking to it. You're going to need if he doesn't play game one. That could be a steal game, right? Maybe Harden, Maxey, Tobias help you steal that one, right? That's all you're looking for. Give me a steal game without Joel. Give me a damn steal game. We deserve better than this. We do, right? And it gun to most of our heads right now because we're upset about it. People are going to say we're going to lose, and rightfully so. So I'll just stay where I was at until he doesn't play, or until he plays and I know, this is bad. Right, he looks like crap.
Oh yeah, hopefully that's not the case.
Right, like I'm going to hold out hope to the last second, to the last possible second. I'm holding out hope. I'm looking for ways to beat him. Why can't we beat him? Screw it. We would probably beat him now without Joe. Where now nobody thinks we can. But whatever. It's playoff basketball. I'm excited for tomorrow night. Palms up. And our first comment is going to be brought to you by Philly Sports Trips and Philly Sports Trips. They're the Philadelphia 5 for 5 sports travel company, premium travel and tailgating experiences for the passionate fans of Philadelphia. Go to phillysportstrips.com and book your next getaway. And our first comment of the night that I saw, and it could be biased, but I'm going to go with this one. I am J.M. Ruiz. No notes. Could be a biased find out of time, but
slightly biased, but
semi-biased.
For that. Our picks are slightly biased, so we're fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback on top of you and
Go
agree
ahead.
as well.
Hop on.
Agree as well. And you know what? I don't really have a reason as to why I'm agreeing.
Me either.
But if Joel misses more than a game, I mean, I want to go on record and say that I want a DNC for this. Okay? My picks do not count if he misses more than a game. We're just putting that out there. DNC. And like I didn't show up to the final. We're just not counting it. But the fact that there's people are saying he went on the trip makes me think he's going to play at least one of the games. I don't know. We just saw the fucking Bruins lose. Didn't mean to drop the F-bomb there. We just saw the Bruins lose, and why not? Why not us? It's our time. If it's not this year, I don't think it's ever going to happen. So I'm sticking with the Sixers. Sixers and 6. Let's go. We need Maxey to be big.
Yeah, we
need
do.
Tobias to be big. Regardless of whether Joel plays or not, which we need him to play, obviously. But we need Maxey and Tobias to win their one-on-ones. You're going to get one-on-one coverage. They're going to do this. They've been doing it all year against us. Can you win? Going to be big. Maxey's going to be huge because they're going to put Smart on you. You're getting Marcus. Trae Young kind of ate him up a little bit last round. Can Maxey follow suit?
Well, he's had his postseason experience now to be a little more seasoned per se, right? He's dabbled in it a few times now. This is going to be his third time.
And I'm not going to hide from the fact that Marcus Smart has kind of owned Maxey when they face each other. But hey, everything can change.
Yeah, take it from him.
Yeah, I want to see us be intense. Sorry, Greg, real quick before you go.
No, go ahead.
I want to see our intensity high. I can't see us moping. No moping around the court. We need to beat their. They might be slightly more talented than us, which means we gotta win. We gotta win all the loose balls. Okay, we gotta get offensive rebounds. We gotta hit the glass. I want to see us out hustle them, outwork them. If we do that, we can win this series.
Agreed.
Yeah, it just does. That's not usually the Sixers, though. You know what I mean?
True.
That's not usually them. And Ryan, I love that. I love our new pickup, PJ Rucker. I know I'm just busting your balls, buddy.
Well, Doc does coach better with lesser talent. We've seen that.
Yes, he definitely does. I'm going to disagree. You guys have kind of already alluded to it. It's like, what's our reason to agree? And Wilson and I talked a little bit last week about our confidence level going into the series as we all anticipated being Boston. And unfortunately, Joel is just such a huge impact on our team. And we struggled this year. Now, granted, regular season, so obviously all bets are off, when you get to the postseason. But we struggled with Boston this year with Joel. You know what I mean? And we struggled to win games even in the regular season. So I'm going to – I think I changed the Celtics in 7. So I'm leaving hope, right? Obviously we get to a game 7, anything can happen. And I'm leaving hope that, it starts off with a split here, split in the first 2 games in Boston. And then, we got to come home and hopefully, at minimum a split there. And then it's, then you got to do what you got to do. Going into the postseason, I thought James Harden was going to have almost a retro James Harden game, kind of like Steph did today, right? You know what I mean? Or Steph did. I'm sorry. Steph did today with dropping 50 in a game 7, right? We're without Embiid being 100, we're gonna need at least 1, maybe 2 games of a vintage James Harden. And although he played well in the first series, I didn't see a vintage James Harden in the series. Now, granted, it was just sweet. Probably didn't need it, right? But, the game 3 and game 4, missing a lot of those, layups and buckets around the, shots around the basket. Just, I hope they're cleared up. I hope the trip to the Gentleman's Club released some tension. And he's good to, and he's good because we're going to need him in the series.
Yeah, it never, I hear you. As vintage as you want to be, it never helped him before because he's been a loser. So
I was gonna say.
So,
I hear you.
I hear you. I mean, 50 burgers nice to have. You know what I mean? But you don't really need vintage. You don't need vintage when it's crap. You know what I mean? You might be the guy you've been. This year. You know what I mean? He's been great this year. So, but I would disagree as well, just because. I'm not going to waver, but I'm always the guy on record that says, "Hey, listen, I love being wrong." But I've seen this story too many times, and I know people say that trends come to an end, and all these different things. It's the same book for me, so I have to see it, and I want to see it. I'll be rooting, and I'll have my gear on, and I'll be jazzed up tomorrow. You know what I mean? But until I see them, until I see them do it, I don't know. I feel like this year is different, to Tom's point, but I still feel like we're lacking that killer instinct. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. I want some killers, and if I could see that, then you can change my mind whether he's healthy or not. You know what I mean? I still had the Celtics in 6, and I want nothing more than be wrong. But that's just the way I see it. We've been their little bitch for a long time. So
yeah, been a while.
Changes.
Yeah, that's time to put that to bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to put it to bed. So
I don't think we've beat them in a playoff series since '83. So it's been a while.
Yeah, been a few minutes for sure.
Been a while.
I mean, listen, they're good. They're super talented, but it's not like they're bulletproof per se. They've been bulletproof versus us whenever we play them. Even better than they probably usually are. But they're good. They're really good, right? And they have a lot of different ways they can beat you, for sure.
Tomorrow's a huge game.
I think they have a little chink in their armor, though. I feel like they got a little chink. And maybe the Doc Rivers will just maybe like I said, Doc's always coached better while undermanned, right? He's always been like a better coach undermanned than he has when he's been like everybody per se. He's seen some better efforts, right?
Hopefully he gets guys.
Maybe we can get a little rally up for a game. Like you can't go beat him without Joe for 7 games, right? In a 7-game series.
No, it's not gonna happen.
But could you steal one without him? Absolutely, you could. Absolutely. I mean, you're a 35-point maxi game away from being in the conversation, stealing one, and that's with like a Paul Reed 10-15 type, right? Like you're right in that making right there, away from like, all right, we're in a game. We're in a game.
It's
So
the NBA. I mean, we didn't want to know how the NBA works. So yeah, you throw your hat in the ring, and that's
got to keep it tight. Keep it tight and try to win the fourth.
That's what I was just going to say. It comes down to the coaching, the coaching and adjustments, and obviously other guys have to step up, but that's where like I said, that's where you want your team to kind of take on your personality, and I know we've alluded to it before, about Spoelstra not winning all, at the end of the day, he doesn't have all these trophies, you know what I mean? But he's just I think he's a tremendous coach. I like what he does, not to switch gears. I'm just saying, like, the Knicks were killing them in the side today. In the second half, what an adjustment in the second half. Was like 10 points in the second half inside, you know what I mean? So you just love to see that. And maybe I'm just too hard on Doc. I just don't see it enough. I don't see that kind of stuff enough. And I know it's a players' league. I just, I just like when teams are gritty and they're just, it's more one heartbeat than it is. I know it's a star-driven league. You know what I mean? But it's good to see. And listen, and in their case, not to get off the Sixers, you also need some luck in this league too. You need to be playing well. You need to be tough. And you need some luck too.
You need help.
Spelling Bee missed 3 games. And they moved on, and now they ran into no Julius Randle too. So, a lot of time, any team needs, that intersection of, opportunity and luck, and see how you're playing when you meet at that intersection.
I really
feel
like
Draymond Green's got a lot of, a few championships, right? And he always said that, like, playoffs come down to, you got to be really good, but falling in some luck definitely helps the process a little bit too. Go ahead, Wells.
Yeah, I mean, I think luck's involved in everything, really. But yeah, just like I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this too. But tomorrow is such a monster game just because of the history that we've had with them, especially recently. If they come out and blow us out tomorrow, it's just gonna, how it's gonna be. It's gonna be, oh well, here it is, go ho hum, here we go again. Like, I need to see a really good effort tomorrow, and I'm not saying that we got to win the game tomorrow, especially if Joel doesn't play, but I want to see us competing. I want to see us getting on loose balls. I want to see us getting to the glass and showing that we can play with this team. I think it's a big factor tomorrow is coming out and showing we can play with this team. Because if they run through us tomorrow, it might be a quick series.
Yeah, because if you don't have your guy, like you don't have your star, it's understandable. And a guy that does it on both ends, and that is going to get his hardware on Tuesday. We're just tired of we're just tired of how it keeps ending up in our lap like this. You know what I mean? How are we not healthy? How is it the second round and we're not healthy? It's just like, I don't, we're tired of getting kicked in the nuts. You know what I mean? So to Wilson's point, that's when everybody else, grabs their shorts and laces them up tighter and grabs your shorts. And whether you get to the finish line or not, you just make sure the Celtics know they're in for a fucking fight tomorrow. And that's what we asked for. You know what I mean? Punch him in the mouth.
Listen to old Redbeard.
First guy, I don't care who it is. If I'm playing my ninth guy that doesn't play that much, he comes in and he's hammering Tatum. I'm saying injury. I'm just saying, I'm going to get 2 more. I'm going to get 2 minutes out of some guy.
I'm going to
get 3 fouls. I'm going to get 3 fouls. I'm going to get handsy with Tatum. That's it.
I'm all for that. I'm always for that. I want every star should be put on the ground at least twice a game.
Nobody has problems doing it to Joel.
Yeah, I mean, Joel hits the ground more than anybody in the league. So
I'm saying
all the time.
I'm saying teams have no problem taking it to him.
I mean, I'm right with you.
So why are we why are we going to go into a series and say, well, it'd be nice with Jason and Jalen? Screw that.
No,
screw that. I want a dogfight. And
I think PJ Tucker's he might be taking 5 every game.
I think
he's going to take me 5.
I think we're going to come to play tomorrow night. I'm not saying we're going to win tomorrow night.
I agree.
But I think we're going to show that this isn't going to be no 5-game series.
Yeah, this ain't the same Sixers.
Yeah. I think we're going to show a little bit of that tomorrow night. And it might not come out with a win, but it's going to come out us knowing like, that's in your building. We took you to the wire.
Like you're in it for a dogfight. And that's how it's got to be. Because honestly, I mean, let's be honest. We know this team is extremely talented, Boston. And without Joe, we probably don't match up talent-wise. But Boston, not only are they very talented, but they have gritty. They have like the gritty guys that do the things that you need to win. That's why we have to outwork them. We have to outbeat them. You know that Marcus Smart's going to be on the floor. You know Robert Williams is going to be on the backboard. Like, we have to outwork them guys. And if we do that, we can beat this team. I really think we can. So let's get it done. I'm tired of losing the second round. And if we lose again, I don't even want to talk about it, because we lose again, I don't know what's going to happen.
And two, how ironic is it that the other side of the division is two lower seeded teams, right? You know what I mean? Like the one year we come up, you would like to, obviously every year Joel's hurt, but why couldn't we match up against the Knicks in round 2, right? You know what I mean? Or even Miami, although Miami would give us fits because they always do
Miami
anyway.
Probably beat us.
But you see the other two teams on the other side, you're like, of course, this is the year of course we match up with Boston in round 2. Now,
because we own the Knicks, right? Like, why can't we get a team we own? Where's our chance to own somebody?
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I was, alluding to with the luck part. You're both, to both your points right there, just the way the way the regular season shook out. You know what I mean? And it's, why we say how important it is. There is no buys in the NBA, but it's just, that seeding, goes a long way. And we've been the 1 seed before and got bounced.
Sure.
So we've seen the movie from every angle. We've seen the Zapruder film.
Every way you can lose in the second round, we figured it out.
We've dabbled in every.
We've lost as an underdog, as a favorite. Yep. We've lost with leads, with coming from with everything. Everything.
Yeah. We got the director's cut, the extended version, kids version.
We haven't dunked the basketball. We haven't made foul shots. We've done everything.
Absolutely. We've been on the Sixers grassy knoll for a long time.
Yeah. 17 bounces on the rim. JJ Redick can't hit an open jumper to save his life. He still wants to talk, though. I've never seen JJ Redick hit an open jumper in his fucking life.
Amazing.
In the playoffs. I don't like JJ Redick. I am not a JJ Redick guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big JJ. Not a big JJ guy either. But
yeah, I'm not sure. Are you gonna read that guy?
Yeah, John says, I understand the frustration with Joel not being healthy, but he says, Jesus Christ, so many Sixers fans swear off the best big man when all he's done is give us his all. And John, I agree with you. He's given us his all, and I'm never going to question that. And I'm the biggest Joel supporter around. But I can only read it so many times before I try to I don't want to talk about this yet, right? I don't even want to have this conversation. We got time to have this conversation, all right? But if it does come that we have to have this conversation, what I'm going to say to everybody is it might be time to cash in on that chip and cash in while you still can. And I'm the biggest Joel supporter there is. But I don't know how much more I can take this. I mean, we talk about waiting for the postseason all this year. If we run it back again, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, I might not even turn a game on then to the regular season's over.
Yeah, it's just, and that's the thing, John. I hear you, buddy. I mean, I don't know if he's really alluding to us or just probably other people that are ready to jump off the cliff. But, we've all seen it, and I know he has too. So that's the frustrating part. You know what I mean? We know, what he's capable of. We've seen the MVP, an MVP season, and then it's just here it is again. You know what I mean? When the lights go on, when the lights are the brightest, and it hasn't been written yet. I don't know that. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, we know he plays hard. We know he gives his all. You know what I mean? But you got to be able to be on the court. You know what I mean? Availability, that's all we're asking for. If he was losing, yeah, of course, he would still get roasted if he was healthy and we were still losing these series. Absolutely. People are going to say at some point you got to put a team on your back and you got to move on. You know what I mean? That's what all the greats do. So I understand that narrative too, and that's all true. But at least you would be able to say, hey, the guy was on the court. The guy gave you everything he got. We went to game. We lost the game 7s. Whatever. We haven't been. We've had some bad luck or something. You know what I mean? But when you're not healthy, that's what drives people up a wall. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
You can't.
And I know your body. Listen, your body breaks down, and there's times you can't. You don't have any control of that. You know what I mean? And all we were saying is we felt it coming in the Nets series. Whether he was getting whether guys were doing it to him or not. To take Greg's analogy that in game 3, he was a floor mop. You know what I mean? We were all come on, dude, this is ridiculous, man. We knock it off. Stay upright, please. Can you stay upright, man?
That's what drives me crazy, Sweeps.
Yeah.
You know that, dude, we know you're tougher than that. Some of it, and I'm never going to try because I think he might play harder than almost anybody in the league. I'm never going to trash how he plays, but I feel like some of the over exaggerating falls. It can't. You're 7'2". It can't help. It can't hurt. Like stay on your feet. The falling has to contribute to you getting hurt a lot. You just stay on your feet, please. We know you're stronger than this. Stay on your feet.
Well, they think it's the other way around.
What, they think he doesn't fall enough?
No. What I'm telling you is because of his size and because of his knees, the doctors almost recommend teaching him how to fall. I'm not telling you.
Again?
Well,
I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying.
Listen. I'm not no doctor. I'm just telling you what. I'm just telling you what I know.
Yeah,
Did say the Holiday Inn Express last night.
It seems like it's not.
I'm not saying Tommy's wrong. I'm sure
I'm not here to defend nobody.
So. No, I'm sure you're right. I mean, I'm sure that's what they said. I just can't imagine. Like I'm 6 foot, 6'1", and it hurts when I fall. So I couldn't imagine 1. I mean, that's no bueno. You know?
Well, the point is they haven't teach him how to
fall hard.
They haven't taught him how to fall right.
Well, he's not a stunt man. He's just a human. I hear you. It's mind-boggling to me, but I get it. I mean, no, I'm not shooting the messenger. I'm not shooting the messenger. I'm saying he's not a stunt man. That's
stunt man.
You made that up. I didn't say you made that up. That's stupid to me. That's all.
Oh yeah, I'm not telling you. You said I made it up. I don't even care enough.
Yeah,
I'm just speaking upon like it's weird and it is what it is. I mean,
it is weird.
I don't know.
It is weird. You would think a guy 7'1", you don't want him to fall that much.
Yeah, I guess it's like the pressure on the knee. I don't know. Seems like a lot to me just to play basketball.
Regardless, we need him to play.
Yeah, it seems like a lot just to play basketball. Right? Like just go play basketball. But
it's just I mean, we talked about it.
I think that started like through the process years. Like I think that's where that started. When it first had like the foot things and all that. I think I read like they were teaching him how to fall properly. So that was a while ago. I haven't I haven't heard it since, but it didn't work out. But again, like most times it's not when he falls. It's when he lands weird, tweaks it, then falls. So like in reality, it isn't when he falls ever. Like I don't remember him being out for a significant amount of time from just falling. Seems like it always is like the land, and then he goes down.
You can always tell too.
His falling is not ideal to begin with, Wills.
Yeah,
because it's always aggressive.
It's always awkward. Yeah, it's always awkward.
So falling, regardless, isn't good. But it doesn't seem like it's ever from falling anyway, which is crazy. It's just listen, it's a freak shit. It's a knee, it's a foot, it's a freaking getting elbowed in the grill. It's insane. I'm so tired of it. That's why I have no energy for tonight's show. I had nothing to bring to the table. I'm sitting back, just letting other people talk because I have nothing to bring. I have zero to bring. I can't predict this series. I gotta wait and see what game 1 looks like. This is us. Like this should be a huge night to talk Sixers, and the wind has been taken out of me before I even hit go live.
Yeah. Like one more.
It's a shame.
One more sleep. That's the kind of stuff. Same thing. I hear you. Like you're saying, like one more sleep. You know what I mean? Like that kind of excitement. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I don't want to harp on Joel too much here, but the thing is, I don't care if he's 80%. Okay, if he's going to play, we need him to play and play the way he's played all year and be an attack and not be what you could tell after he tweaked the knee in game 3 where he's just standing on the 3-point line moping. He can't be that guy. Okay, if he's going to play, he needs to play and play dominant, Joel, or don't play. Don't be mope guy. I can't have that. Then I will crush him if he mopes. I can't have mope guy.
Yeah, we don't want mope guy. I mean, he is so big and he's a monster of a man. Sometimes he might not even be moping, but it just feels like he's moping.
But you could tell. I mean, you could tell.
I feel like you can now.
Game,
by
you
now,
could tell that he was hurt. You could, you know what I mean? Like
I feel like he's lived in our house long enough that we know his truths.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that we can be like, see you there. I see you there moping again.
Yep.
People are like, no, he's not, and you're like, well, I've lived with you for a long time.
Yep.
I see every goddamn morning. I know what you're doing up there.
Almost a decade in, I know your truths.
Oh yeah, you know he's a toilet snacker, of course. Yeah, you know, you know that.
Oh boy,
that's incredible. I don't even know if we should bring that up.
No, there was no citation there.
Greg might lose. There
was no citation there. It was just a blanket statement. With never do that. You said person.
Blanket, a snack on the toilet.
It is so weird. Like, we should be so much more pumped up for this series. It's just taking there's a great word to use there, or term. Took the wind out of our sails. It really has.
I don't know if I've ever done a show sitting back in the chair. So that just shows
Like
you
Chris
where
Farley
I'm at.
right now.
It just shows you where I'm at.
Waiting for some wind. Waiting for some wind here.
Did the intro and immediately took a step backwards. You know what I mean? Immediately just like saw
Sat
myself
back.
out.
Relax, Tommy.
Just reading comments. You know, I don't know I don't know. I mean, I know how you can win a game or two. I don't know how you can win a 7-game series without him. But again, we don't even know what he is. So like, it's hard to predict a series when you don't know what the guy is.
Yeah.
Hence why Vegas has shifted so much, because nobody knows what he is. So Boston becomes big time favorites.
Yeah, monster
favorites.
They're basically running it like he's basically going to be a non-factor.
Well,
because minus 440 is outrageous. They shouldn't be minus 440. That's outrageous.
Well, what was the Bruins line going into that series? Sure,
probably minus 440.
Probably minus 440. Right, I'm sure Milwaukee, Miami was probably the same damn thing.
Well, yeah. Milwaukee was definitely at least minus 350.
Which is heavy.
I mean,
was Giannis injured going into that?
No,
he got hurt 6 minutes into the first game.
This game, game 3. That's why I think it was third on the list. I mean, I don't want to sound like the man with the paper asshole. I'm telling you, I think the Bucks were like minus 1,200.
You might be right. Yeah, it might have been ridiculous.
They showed that list. They showed the list. It was crazy. It's like 3.
Wow.
Biggest upsets. It was pretty high.
I mean, Jimmy's. It almost makes you sick to your stomach when you watch Jimmy play in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
great. I mean, he's amazing. But
I just wish we were the owners. I wish we were the owners.
The competitiveness that he has.
I know you guys jumped on board, but if me and Tom were the owners, like we would have gave him the keys to the castle. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line. It was just like, oh, you want Ben going? You want this other idiot going?
You want us going too?
We're out here, man. We'll just absolutely. I
can't watch that
video. He did a castle blank check. Go ahead. I don't care. I didn't care.
That fucking video of him like entering the after beating us, just like yelling, "Tobias Harris over me!" That video makes me sick to my stomach too. Christ.
Yeah, I don't like him throwing jabs at Tobias because I've always liked Tobias. Like, not what he earns, but like, shut up, Jimmy. Like,
I think it's just because they play the same position.
Well, I hear you, but it wasn't because of Tobias.
But we signed Tobias, and he signed with.
I understand, but that's not the reason. That's not
the
reason.
They had the money to do both.
They had the money, and he went
running. That's why they traded McCall.
He went running because there was a pussycat in the building. That's what he went running from. Come on, we know what he went running from. Jimmy can smell that shit.
I think he mainly went running from Brett Brown.
I
think
both probably.
He could have still played, and Ben could have been a bitch, and then Ben could have left the team, and we could still have Jimmy, though. That would have been ideal.
Yeah, I just don't like him saying, like, that's the only thing I didn't like Jimmy did, and I love Jimmy. Yeah. But, like, just shut up about Tobias, dude. Tobias has been nothing but a guy who plays a lot of games, right? Shows up every night. He's not the best. We know this, but it's not his fault he's getting paid that money. What, are you going to turn the contract down?
Yeah, we ain't going to pay him.
You ain't gonna turn the contract down, and he's always been the same Tobias his whole career. So I don't know what somebody expects. He's gonna turn into a superstar because you gave him max money. No, he's gonna be a really good player. He's gonna be a really good player night to night.
No, I agree with you.
We are gonna need.
I don't think
play above himself.
Yeah, I don't think most people knew that that you could have made both work. I think that's where the immediate, the immediate thing. You just think that it was one or the other. You know what I mean? So, so that's and then when Jimmy says that, then it like you think, oh man, that really was it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they said. The trade for Zaire and Mikal Bridges was to clear up enough roster, clear up enough money to make sure to be able to do both if it came down to it.
Yeah, that worked well.
Yeah,
everything worked out in that situation very well.
Mikal Bridges just averaged 30 in a series against us. Zaire Smith's bagging groceries, the local Walmart.
Would have been nice. Yeah, would have been nice for Jimmy. Just give us a heads up so we can keep Bridges. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm outside of back here.
Would have loved to know you were leaving, Jim. Yeah. I didn't know you loved South Beach that much.
He is just an ultimate competitor, though. Watching him play, wow. The Heat are fun to watch. I'll tell you what, I don't want to talk about the Heat too much, but underrated move, bringing in Kevin Love off the Heat. Just a veteran. Just plays great out there. I love me some Kevin Love.
Yeah, I don't.
And of course, Cleveland gets rid of him. They get bounced in the first round. See ya, Cleveland bums.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of ways. Now, do you guys think he plays tomorrow night? You think Joel plays tomorrow night? What's your feelings? If you had to go 1 out of 10, 10 being guaranteed plays, where you
2.
At? Well, 2. That's fine. That was quick.
I mean, when the coach is out saying he's not going to play, I feel like he's not going to play. I hope he plays game 2.
1. Yeah, I'm at a 1 too.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm in that same 2 because I think they're going to try and steal game 1 without him and then see how game 2 goes. But again, like we've been kind of alluding to, it's so tough to call how we even steal a game without him.
And they're not the end.
You know what I mean?
Like we always talk about, they're not the end all be all. I mean, dogs win all the time, but like, how are we getting 10.5? I understand, Joe.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's too much.
I know Joe's the MVP. I get it, but like, come on, man, it's playoff time, man, in a rivalry. You know what I mean? That should be like, I'll give you 7. You know,
that was like the other night with the Heat. They were getting 12.5, like in game 6 or game 7. Like, I'll take the free points. Thank you.
We're getting 11 tomorrow. Come on.
What goal?
Disrespectful, man.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that line, that number, I jumped on it. I jumped on the Sixers because I'm like, that's a lot, dude. I mean, a couple of late buckets late.
It's going up.
Yeah.
A couple of late buckets late.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, Tommy. I mean, there's a lot of things. Like, you could still you still lose and look terrible / get blown out and not lose by 10. You know what I mean? Like,
teams routinely come back.
Yeah.
Unless you bet, unless you bet the Kings today.
WWF, yeah.
Everybody makes a run,
WWE with the basketball. That's what it is. So yeah, you just got to be on the right side. Agreed. It's a lot of pintos.
I do think that if we can keep it tight with them tomorrow, then anything can happen down the stretch. Just get in position to steal one. Just keep it tight. Don't let them run away from you. Keep it tight.
And I think, Wills, I think you're right there, because I think that's part of the fan frustration with this whole situation is, as much as we're all not huge guys of Doc, we're all to a man going to sit there and say we had the coach's advantage going into the series, right? With an absolute rookie head coach in Joe Mazzulla, right? You know what I mean? So the closer you keep the games, the closer you keep the series, you end up, even though you're the underdog, you end up turning that fire up on their end because he's the coach that hasn't done this before. Right, you know what I mean? At least
just
Doc's
like
done it before and stuff like. Completely agree, right?
Even though
Bud's
done it, but
Budenholzer's done it before, but he never did it without Giannis in the playoffs, obviously, right? You know what I mean? And so I think that's part of like why we're, Tommy, you're so like laissez-faire, and we're all just kind of like the wind's taken out of us, because we found going into it, if healthy, there were some potentially clear advantages that we had going into this.
Yeah, right down low.
Having Joel is the best player in the league, right? You know what I mean? And that was it.
In the series for sure.
Completely, yeah. And then you had the coach's advantage and stuff like that. And so then you're like, all right, you can find ways to win that. You know what I mean? Like, you can find ways to piece together. All right, let's split in Boston, right? And then take advantage, then take control at home, right? And stuff like that. And then that's where like the wind goes out of your sail, is because now you're just like, what is Joe? You know what I mean? Like, because we haven't even, to your point, Tommy, we haven't even seen him since the injury. Like, we haven't, like, can he walk? Obviously, it looked like he could walk, but
he was smiling today when they were doing like,
so like,
the only thing I saw was like,
is he going to be able to gut through it and stuff like? So that's the unknown, and kind of makes it such a strange vibe that we're all kind of sitting in here right now.
Yeah, it's strange. It definitely doesn't feel like what I want it to feel like, right? Where you guys were all at 2s and 1s. I'll stay. I don't want to stay in the same category. Agree, disagree, radio. I think he plays. I'm not going to go 10, Right? I don't care what Doc said 2 days ago. I don't care what he said this morning.
I wish Doc would stop talking. Honestly.
Yeah, I would like that too. But I don't care what he says because the player's going to decide that, right? The player's going to decide if he feels good enough to go, regardless of what the medical people say. Come playoff time, right? Look, a player's going to.
I like to believe that, but who knows? When you got Kawhi sitting out with a sprained knee, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, well,
but I'd like to think that though. I think old school. I would totally agree. Iverson would be like, yeah, I'm playing.
I'm gonna say like 6 out of 10. So I'm not gonna go like crazy because I still believe there's that chance he doesn't either, and this isn't a smoke screen. But I want to believe there's a little bit of that going on right now, where you know what, he's doubtful on Saturday. Yeah, he's doubtful on Saturday. If I was a bet man, I say he doesn't play because in the NBA you can't get in trouble for that, like you can in the NFL. Like the NFL, like you can get in trouble for that. I do believe it's a sprain. It might be an LCL or whatever they call it. I believe it's not more than a grade 1 because if it was, I'm not a doctor again, but he was shooting today. He was passing today. He was moving around a little bit today. Like it's not the same as a game, but if it's a really bad type of thing, like then he's just getting treatment and not even touching the basketball court, right? Makes sense? It's like you're not even going to go shoot, just get treatment around the clock. So that's what makes me think there's that chance. And that's what gives me the hope. A lot of this is me wanting to believe and acting like a doctor for 5 minutes, right? Like I'll just take Paul's spot here for tonight. So, I mean, part of it's that because listen, I believe in the guy when he's healthy. I believe in the guy 90%. And if he can be like 90% tomorrow night, there's no reason we can't beat them. I mean, there's reasons why we can't, but there's also a lot of reasons why we can. And that's what made this such a fun series going in, is because we knew no matter how much they've owned us, we knew it's a different animal and we had the best player in the world. And at least that's what I stood by, right? That's what I would yell and scream about. Like, well, we got the best player in the game. So if you have the best player in the game, you got a chance. You got a chance to win. Chance. So listen, we'll find out tomorrow night about where he's at. But if he doesn't go, I think that's where we see. I think you either see I think you see that vintage Harden then if he doesn't go tomorrow night. I think Harden might drop 35 tomorrow night if he doesn't go. Because, I mean, he's had 10 days off the legs, a lap dance to go upon it.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw him after the All-Star break when he had about that week off, right? That weekish during the All-Star break. His one of his best games was that first game back, if you guys remember. And look, he had that little lift, right? That's missing. This one with all of us, I think we all know as we get older. Okay. Lift goes away. And look, he had a little bit more of that lift that game. So I'm going to pray that he has it for one game and then he'll go away again. But that Harden has that one game of lift where he can get his 30, 35, and then maybe that follows with a maxi 30 piece and you're able to steal one. Other guys are going to have to score too, but you guys get where I'm going.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What's up, Dav? Yeah, Marcus, we have guards who can score. Big difference from past teams. Yeah, I mean, if DeAnthony's a big part of this series.
Yeah.
You know, what DeAnthony Melton do you get? I mean, he's definitely a good defender.
We need our second unit to play well.
Can he score enough?
Good.
Yeah.
And you know, and we did see too in the Celtics first series, obviously they're not bulletproof, right? You know what I mean? A lesser talented Atlanta team was able to at times, you know, impose their will and obviously take 2 games and scare them a little bit even in that game 6. So, you know, even if you get a 50%, 70% Joel, but you get a good surrounding cast, you know, there's definitely ways to win games. It is, you know, kind of the, you know, elephant in the room isn't enough to win series, you know, and stuff like that.
You know, it goes to what Wills was alluding to. Like if you stay close, then you can get lucky. Like one of those games, you know, old Baldy Ice Tray needed a 30-footer, to win that game.
Well, he went crazy into that game.
But I'm saying he hit a 30-footer, won that game. You know what I mean? Because they hung around. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you hang around, then you can get lucky. Right? Somebody can be the hero.
Absolutely, Sweeps. Guess what? If they blow you out, you can't have that happen. So you just got to hanging around. Can't get rid of it.
And I mentioned this either last week or the week before too. I mean, we're good. Obviously, Joel's going to be limited even when he does play. I think the one good side of it though is the emergence of an improved Paul Reed, right? To where he doesn't look like a complete deer on a hardwood floor, right? He's energetic, he's productive. He's not a point of foul guy anymore, right? He still has those moments, but he boosts the energy and he's able to give you sustained minutes while Joel might not be able to go as long as usual, right? In the past, we haven't really had that guy. We thought that was going to be Montrez, and obviously we know how that went through the year. But I think Paul has proven towards in the playoffs and the end of this regular season that he's able to be a placeholder for 10, 12, 15 minutes a game if we need it while Joel's rested.
Yeah, I agree. He's shown the ability to do that. I think his energy and not being a dog on a hardwood floor, that combo has come together now, where now he's an asset. Now he's a guy you throw at teams, and maybe you're down 10 early. You need a little sparky poo, and here he comes the Yang into the. I mean, not the Yang. Sorry, I was reading the Yang comment.
B-ball.
Here comes B-ball. Here comes out the mud, and that leads 4, right?
Yeah.
Just because of some loose balls, extra chances, little things like that.
I will agree with N. Thomas here about George's. If George's makes some shots, I think it all depends on where we're at in the game and what we need. If we need a 3, he'll probably be on the court because he can shoot a little bit. But yeah, he doesn't do a whole lot for me. And I think that the Celtics will probably attack him on the defensive side. So I'm kind of with you. I don't want to see him on the court a lot.
But we see this every year. I mean, Doc's going to play who he's played all year. I mean, Niang's gotten minutes all year. It's not
he's
like
going to play, Greg.
It's not like we're going to sit here in round 2 and be like, oh, we can't play you. You know what I mean? Let's pull Corky off the bench, right? Dust that old guy off and play him instead of Niang because he's a little bit more athletic, right? I mean, because we used to talk about that all the time heading into the playoffs. All right, who's getting cut down? Who's getting this, right? And it never happens. Doc's going to play those guys.
Maybe that's
now if he's ice cold early, then yes, sit his ass down and move on. But it's just if you're without Joe too, then you're gonna need that other 10, 12 points that he might get you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a stubborn.
3-0.
That also. No, I think that was a replay. Look at
the Kraken though.
I was like,
the Avalanche.
But it like I said, it might be time to change that stubbornness too. Like what I mean, that's why.
Not bad. Yeah, true.
That's why we kill you a little bit, Doc, because come on, there has to be it hasn't worked, so maybe change it up. I know we have a different team this year, and we got a better bench and all that stuff. But
Glenn's had a lot of talent for one title.
Yep,
that's the truth. I know that truth. And I want to keep harping on this, but another reason of why you want to just stay tight in the game and make it a game in the fourth quarter is because, like Greg mentioned already, is that I think that we maybe one of the rare times in the second round here is that we have the better coach. We have the better head coach. We have the guy with the more experience for sure, and the guy I think I trust more down the stretch here. I want to see Joe Mazzola win a little fire here. All right, keep it tight. Make him have to make decisions. I think that's gonna benefit us.
Sure. Now like I said, Tommy's.
I mean, players gotta make plays, but
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that's what my point was. Tommy's screamed about it before, and he's not wrong. I mean, that's how the NBA is structured. You know what I mean? But if let's just say hypothetically, he gets thoroughly outcoached by a rookie, it's time to go.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah, at that point we might. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I might be a lot of people going.
Yeah, well, a lot of people. As I was going to say, a lot of people might be going anyway.
Yeah.
However we look at this, I mean, this might be this could very well be a start over if we don't get the results we're looking for, with or without Joe. It's a result-driven business. We've waited a long time, and as fans, if this doesn't work again, how long are we supposed to sit here and say, run it back?
Yeah. And what kind of, and yeah, to your point, what kind of fight do you get? Because, you know, like it's a blue collar town, man. You know what I mean? So that, you know, if the Sixers get manhandled with Joe or without Joe, that's when the people throw it out.
That's
when people are fed up. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
If we battle and barely lose, I can live with that.
Hey, you might lose 4 games to 1, but hey, if you're in every game and you're battered and bruised, and the Celtics are battered and bruised, and they happen to be better down the stretch or made a play down the stretch, hey, listen, they tip your cap to them. You know what I mean? But if you get walked on and you're little bitch boys this series, then it's time for a restart, like you said.
That's 1,000%. I couldn't have said it better, Stoops. 1,000%. If we're in every game and we're battling, I'm not going to complain. Like I know Boston's a really good team. Just battle. Just show hard out there. If they walk all over us, we got issues. We got real issues.
Yep.
And I don't think they're going to walk all over us, by the way. I still think we're going to win this series.
I do
starts with winning tomorrow.
I do too, and I can't tell you why.
Yeah, there's no reason why.
My best reason why. Now I'm going to sit up. No, I'm not even going to go there. Now we're getting out of control. Right now, I'm going to sit up for a second. The reason I think we beat them doesn't have to end.
It happens in weird ways, Tom.
And then this is the weird way again. This is the weird way.
It's the weird way. But like, you could say that the weird way is every year because Joel's hurt every year. But I mean,
this one a little bit different though.
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit, not much.
He's the MVP. So
it's insane though that if you just bookmark this, like right around this time every year, we have this show, late April show, and we have the same talk every year of is Joel playing? How much is he gonna play every year? It's insane.
Yeah.
Groundhog's Day. Great move.
Like I said, and now he's gonna get his hardware, and he's gonna even play. That's the question.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the question.
He's gonna finally get his individual hardware that we thought he should have won a year ago.
Yeah, maybe it should be a second. Yeah. But we need to win. We need some wins. We need to get to the conference finals.
Casey's 29 years old. So
Casey, I mean,
it's 29.
When's it going to change? If we lose again in the second round, when's it changing?
Yeah, exactly. That's the definition of insanity. You know what I mean? Like, come on, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So, it's not far fetched to say blow it up
next year. He'll be 30.
As a good friend of mine,
he's gonna be 30 next March. KZ, he's my favorite player. I love the guy. He's my son. He's gonna be goddamn 30 next March. I love modern medicine. I've been the believer of modern medicine. All right, man, he can play. He got a little more left in the tank. I mean, modern medicine. He can play who's 37. I don't believe that anymore. Modern medicine has been ripped from me, and my son Joel Hans Embiid has been ripped from my arms as well here.
I feel like, I mean, Kareem was old, and I can't really say it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say I feel like there's not a lot of centers that were really old, but Kareem was old.
No chance, Martin. No, I was reading the comment.
No chance. No, Joel's going to win MVP.
A lot of blind faith here tonight, Joshua. I like it.
Josh.
Yes. We got to have something.
I do like what Ethan said, though, because this is a big reason on why we did sign PJ Tucker.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it showed in the first series just some things, right? So you hope it shows its ugly head or pretty head, right? Show your pretty head, PJ.
I feel like Milwaukee can tell you that they missed him last year against Boston because 2 years ago when Milwaukee beat Boston and then ended up winning the whole thing, PJ Tucker was very big in that series. And he's going to have to be big in this series because he's going to have to – he's our muscle out there. And Boston's physical, so he's going to have to be the guy that's physical back.
Is he prime Embiid if he's always hurt?
Like, what's my plan B? I don't even want to have this conversation, KZ. And now you're asking me for prime Bs because I said it might be a conversation that needs to be had if we don't get out of second round again. That's all.
It just needs to be had, Tom, because we get a bounty for him. You know what I mean? We get a ransom for him at this point. And it's how much longer will we still get that?
Yeah, I mean, look at what the Nets got for Kevin Durant.
That's just how you got. That's how you got to think about it.
Yeah, I'll take a really good young player and a million picks for him right now. Like not right now, not right now, but
have to be two good young players, I think. But yeah,
maybe Listen, I'm not.
Well, they got Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Mikal.
Well, no, they didn't get
Mikal. Whatever.
Yeah, if you say Mikal one more time, I'm gonna punch you through the screen.
Mikal.
You're lucky that you're in fucking Florida. The third time you said it.
Didn't Cam Johnson come with him from
maybe the other Cam Johnson because there's already
Cam
Cam Johnson on the Nets too.
Cam Thomas is the other one.
Oh, Cam Thomas.
Cam Johnson came from the Suns. Yeah, the 3-point shooter.
So you're gonna get two young players and a million picks. So I mean, and you're gonna pair those two young players with the Tyrese Maxey. So it's not like they
probably can make him take another veteran like the Nets did. Because I think they shipped who's the guy that scored a ton of points against us in a bubble? They shipped him to Phoenix too.
Yeah,
TJ Warren. Warren.
All right, but either way, you're not going to be you're going to be setting yourself up here.
Oh no,
you're going to trade him for proven young talent.
I don't want to trade Joel, but I'm saying
I don't want to either. Yeah. But if people want to start this crap with me,
this is the thing we got to talk about. I mean, we would get a lot for him. Obviously.
People want to start this crap with me when I'm the biggest Joe defender there is. So for me to say it, you know, I would go look in the mirror right now, right? If I'm somebody else hearing me say it, on where your blind goddamn loyalty is. I mean, come on, man. Like at some point, if it doesn't work and the guy's about to be 30 and he's big, how long are we waiting for?
And as my friend Jason Edwards says, guys that are always hurt are always hurt. He's hurt every year.
How am I talking another process? If I'm getting a guy like Bridges back to pair with a guy like Maxey, how am I restarting the process? I'm just getting the whole back. That's what I'm doing.
And then you would assume that Harden's gone, and you still got Tobias. Maybe you try to get rid of him too. But
either way, you're not restarting it.
No.
You're just doing it a different way now.
Well, you would hope then you would hope
at this point, what's the difference in
restarting? You know, you would have two really good players with Maxey and whoever you got back, maybe three really good players if you get two young guys back, and then multiple picks. Where you can wheel and deal and make things happen.
We're still in the second round every year, and he's hurt every year. So at some point, I mean, you need an anvil to fall on your head. I mean, like you can't just keep doing it. So I mean, like I said, none of us want to do it. None of us are suggesting it. We're just saying, hey, they're discussing the phone. The phone might be ringing. You might have to pick it up. Pick it up.
If Boston walks all over us, it's a conversation that we need to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I trade in Miami, I don't know if they have enough to give me back. To be completely honest with you, Mark.
Yeah, I don't know who else I would want. Who's young and good enough on that team? Tyler Hero's pretty good. I'll give you that. They would have to give me Hero and Bam and multiple two picks.
Okay, 5 first, Bam and Hero. You do it.
Do they own it? Do they own any first from other teams?
I don't know. I can't. I'm not deep enough in that.
Yeah,
stuff.
See, I'd have to get in. You break that down because they're the first you want. Because once you give Joel to the team, they're going to be really good. You don't want their first. You want the first that they have of other teams. It's a whole thing because there's teams out there. Oklahoma City has 1,000 firsts.
Yeah, I need.
Who else has 1,000? Utah has 1,000.
I want some proven guys.
Yeah, give me Shea Gilgeous.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is that because he brought up Miami? So I'm saying the only two you would get from Miami is Bam and Hero. Is that good enough?
No.
And picks? I don't think it is.
I don't know if it is. Yeah,
I don't think it is. I don't think I feel like I got enough.
Especially if they don't have first round picks of other teams because
that's Barkley. I feel like that's Barkley for Tim Perry, and Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah, agreed, Tom. Because then you figure they're going to be awesome. You don't really want their first round pick because they're going to be really good.
Come over.
Yeah. He liked me for me.
Coming over and then he shoots the free throw.
Did we get who else we got in that trade? Somebody else.
The only year they have
Tim Perry.
multiple picks is 26 and 29.
Yeah, no thanks. So
Yeah, no thanks.
26 is OKC's and Dallas or Phillies. And then, so 23, 24, 26.
now,
I'm sorry, 26, they have 3 because they do have their own. I don't know why it's listed.
now, if you get outplayed, how interested are you? Now, I don't know I'm saying they would do it, but, obviously Kyrie and Luka didn't get along. If we don't play well, Luka for Joe.
I'll do it yesterday.
Oh, man.
Well, I make them give me more, too.
Giddy up.
So, yeah, he don't have the picks to do it.
I mean, Luke is very young still, right? He's got to be really young.
Yeah, they probably don't do it for Luka. They probably try doing it for Kyrie.
Yeah, but we don't want that. Don't give me that. I don't want that.
Nope.
Joe can get hurt every year in the second round. I'll take him over Kyrie.
Well, how about Sean? How about I'll give you a team, and I got to look over the roster a little more. I know one player I could get back. How about Sean to the Portland Trailblazers? You want to get him out, right?
Who you want from them?
Dame time.
Well, Simons.
I was going to say Simons has to be in the talk because he's the best younger player.
He's the best younger player they have.
Yeah.
So start there.
Started Simons. Throw me Jeremy Grant as well, just on the top because I want him back.
Matisse, though.
Slide him across. Slide that across the table. Oh, man. Who else do they have? I mean, Simons and Grant, is that enough?
No.
And 5 first?
And Lillard?
No. And 5 first, right?
They got another young guy, too, don't they? Hold on.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
There's the young guy that played pretty well this year because at the end of the year, no one was playing for that.
Trent Jr., right? Or another guy?
You talking about Reddish?
No, I think it was Shaden Sharp or something. Who played well at the end of the year?
Shaden Sharp?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Could be him.
Shaden Sharp, yeah.
Yeah, anyone that played good at the end of the year, you got to throw him in.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough, though. I don't know if Shaden Sharp.
Still might not be.
I don't know if Shaden Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. Sterling Sharp.
Still not enough.
Warren Sharp.
Warren Sapp. Throw Sapp in there, too. Throw Warren Sapp in.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett's money. Still not enough.
Warren Zevon. Warren Buffett.
We'll probably to take
Warren
Nurkic
Moon.
back.
How many Warrens can we get in there?
Well, I mean, Grant could be involved in there just because of the money, just to help make the money work.
Oh, Greg's spinning. Greg's on the trade machine.
Greg,
he's got the trade machine spinning.
Oh, let's go pull it up.
You know that I am a Syracuse fan and a Jeremy Grant fan. I'm always willing to take Jeremy Grant back. We should never let Jeremy Grant go. It's a bad move.
Yeah, it had to happen.
Yeah, I agree, but I'd love to have Jeremy Grant on the team right now.
100%.
Yeah. Can he play tomorrow?
Well, I mean, you can get him back real easy this offseason.
Can he get to Boston tomorrow?
There you go. There's your trade. Shaden Sharp, Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons.
And 3 first.
75
4.
First. 4. Let's see.
We hold the cards here.
Agreed.
Yeah, we got the MVP. It's the MVP you're talking about.
Oh, maybe make it 5 now since you want to talk.
The best thing about it, too.
You want to talk? Make it 5. Make it 5. You want to have your mouth and make it another first-round pick. Every time. Would you say another thing?
Sharp's only 19.
Name, right?
Only 19? Oh, trust the process. It's only 19. Trust the process. We're back, baby. We're back.
Simons is like 21, too. He's young.
This is great. Maxie's 22. We're
23.
even better. Maxie's
make that trade.
Jordan Davis is 26.
I mean, Simons did have a good year this year, though.
Oh, you make that trade.
He averaged 21.
Probably almost 30, but
yeah, you make that trade, and then you got to bring back. You fire Doc, and you bring back Brett Brown
and Ben.
You run it back.
Is that Ben back? Oh, and Maxie's 22, Greg. I mean, this is perfect. A 19-year-old, 22-year-old, 23-year-old, we're right back. KZ, you started it, KZ.
Korkmaz is only 25.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Low risk, high reward.
And then we hope that Dame and Joe don't get along and Portland goes in the tank.
They won't get along.
Hey!
Because Dame will just be jacking. So they won't get along.
Always be jacking.
He'll be jacking. Don't worry about that.
I mean, he's always jacking.
I mean, think about it. Minnesota gave up 5 for Rudy. For Rudy.
That's
So,
insane.
I mean, if Joel just without a player back deserves 10 a decade.
Just for him to punch a teammate in the face.
Yeah, for a decade. Joel Embiid being traded deserves, with no player back, a decade worth of picks. A decade.
It does work, by the way.
I'm going to take it even further, Tom. It's like the Japanese thing when you have to sign just to talk to the guy. You got to pay. Just to talk to the Sixers, you got to give us something, all right? And then we'll decide if we want to pull the trigger.
Every phone call's a pick. You sure you want to pick up the phone and call the Sixers? That's a first.
We'll decide if we want to talk.
Every time you call the Sixers, that's a first or a second.
Okay.
Every
Greg.
time you call back, we add a first.
Greg, did it work?
It's now 6.
The trade did work.
It didn't or did?
It did. So Joel for Grant, Simons, Sharp, and I had 5
Yeah, as you should.
unprotected first rounds.
As you should.
5. Count them. 5.
And it said yes.
5. I'm going to be honest with you. That's not.
I was going to go back and I didn't realize I put 223 first, so they're probably not going to trade them both.
I'm
So I
almost
was just gonna
excited
go
about next year.
I was going to go swap out for just another year, but we're still good.
I'm going to go watch Jaden Sharp highlights.
Yeah, I did. Like, I'm almost excited. They got me back. You see me? I'm back in the nook. I'm sitting back up again. They got me feeling good about next year. A lot of great guard play. All right, here we go. Paul Reed out the mud. We got, what an energy team. What an energy, the all energy team. No,
We'd be like Sacramento. We just run you to death.
we win 48 games. Write that down next year. 48. Write it down in your journal. Tom said something funny tonight. 48. Maybe 52.
Maybe 50.
Maybe 50. Give me 2 more highlight reels. I got at 54. Yes, nobody wants to trade him, Sean. That's the whole point.
We're not trading them.
We're hoping we don't have to have this conversation. We're just having it for some fun.
Unless Boston curb stomps us.
Yeah. Listen, by next Sunday,
we might be really happy.
by next Sunday, I might be putting him in my car. Come on, big fella. I'll put the seats down.
There's a Colorado goal.
Just lay down in the back. You know what I mean? I'll just lay him down in the back.
It's lay down. Don't want to get hurt on the way to Portland.
We got a ball game.
Got a long drive.
We got a ball.
We got a long drive. Yeah, we got a long drive to Portland. Going to get a little rainy up there.
I want to bring a poncho.
As they say, we got a ball game there. A boat in a boat. We got a ball game.
Yep, I lie bet the Lanch. So let's go.
I wanted to like 10 minutes ago, and I realized I'm on my phone. I was like, God damn. It's another reason I'm going to buy a computer. I need to hit for a big bet.
I might have to put on another one on him now too, since you couldn't get yours in. You
I
know
know,
what I mean?
you're right. You're
right.
right.
Hold on. Going into the King.
I had a good week, except I cannot believe the Giants.
No, it's not about if you would have put it on, they would lose. It's like the fact that you can't get it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right with you.
Yeah, you got shut out. Yeah.
Oh, plus 145. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. Anytime another human gets shut out, you got to the slack.
I'm almost gonna pretend like I can't hear you guys. I gotta go back out this for a second.
I mean, I would love to do that, but that just won't happen. Yeah, I mean, that's like illegal. Like trading with Boston's illegal.
I don't think Boston would want to do it either. Well, I mean, they probably would want Joel.
I don't know what they would be doing. But I want 7. I want 45 first.
Yeah, and I don't want Brown and Smart. I want Brown, Smart, and Tatum. All 3.
You're not getting all 3.
That's what I want.
I'll easily leave that with Brown, Smart, 3 unprotected first. You got yourself a deal.
And Robert Williams.
I don't know.
I need more.
You need more than that? You need more than Brown, Smart, and 3 for 3.
Smart's getting kind of old, I feel.
Great. He is. But
He's got to milk the trade machine. Go ahead, get in there.
Can you milk a trade machine, fucker?
You gotta wait. Let him set up that mellow yellow IV first. Hold on.
He's in. Look at Skip. He took a sip before he went in. It's a lot of work.
What the whistle before the trade machine.
It's a lot of work here for him. He's stressed out.
Greg, get the rubber bands off your arm.
Don't worry. You can snack after this.
Jesus.
We got a ball game here in Colorado. 2-1 going to the third.
Riz, I don't know what to think, right? I mean, listen, I don't even want to talk about. We talked about it for enough now. Like,
It would work.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We put it in the universe. We're not trying to put it in the universe.
It would work.
We were having, hypothetical conversations.
Oh, here's Greg in my ear.
We were just saying
it would work.
If we get embarrassed,
It's like God calling down to me.
I can't take any more. I can't take another embarrassing. Can't take another embarrassing.
Those would be the years for your first because you're not allowed to trade multiple year firsts.
Wait, what would they be?
24, 26, 29.
I mean, go fuck yourself with next year's pick, but
2029. Goodness gracious.
Well,
I don't even know what the hell I'm doing tomorrow.
NBA doesn't allow you to trade consecutive picks, first round picks.
Yeah, and you would hope. But you would hope then. They would probably want to take a couple late, just hoping that the team would like you. Okay, Joel's old now, would be retiring, and they fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't like the 24. I don't like the 24.
I prefer not to have the closer one because that's gonna be like 30th pick. I don't want that.
They don't have it first.
Give me 26, 28, and 30. Talk to you later, I guess. Shit.
That's how Boston got good. Anyone was wondering, that's how Boston got good. Our old good friend Billy King, traded a bunch of future firsts for Durant and not Durant, Garnett, Pierce, and
Ray Allen.
Joe Johnson, maybe. No, Ray Allen was on the Heat. But no, yeah, I think I think Brooklyn was good for one. Well, he was. Then he went to the Heat. And then
you're talking about Celtics or the Nets.
Celtics.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Celtics traded to the Nets. Pierce, Garnett, and
I'm sorry.
One other guy used to be good. Gerald Wallace, too, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they were good for 1 year. Celtics ended up getting friggin' Tatum and I think probably Tatum, Brown, and Smart out of it. They got 3 first-round picks out of it for sure.
Riz, I got the Sixers in 7. What did you guys have?
Sixers in 6. And they win tomorrow.
Celtics, unfortunately, in 6.
Celtics in 7.
Right side, issues. Right side got problems.
I can't believe I'm Sixers in 6. I'm the most optimistic here.
Yeah, you are.
I'm feeling good. I'll be honest with you. Like come 8:45 tomorrow night, I might be throwing packages in the truck and lawn side. I don't know. We'll see.
Now you guys know about your order.
Yeah, might want to avoid sending stuff through UPS this week. I'll be listening to the games. Acting accordingly.
Fragility means nothing. Fragility means nothing.
Oh, that means kick me harder in UPS.
Mm-hmm. I don't kick. I just throw. Not time. Right. Too much. No time for kicking.
No, I hear you. Sorry.
What is this commercial? Jesus.
Went up there for a beer and a charger and came back with beers.
Riz,
no charger.
I think the fact that he went on the trip means he's going to play at least in game 2, right?
Oh.
Tom thinks he might play tomorrow. I hope he does.
Yeah, I'm not telling you I know anything, but I think they got a chance. All right. Well, on other news of a guy coming back from injury, Harper could return this week and as early as Tuesday night in LA. Phillies win another series against Houston this week, and they travel to LA. He goes for his doctor's appointment tomorrow, and our Harper conversation is brought to you by Gleason's Bar, and they're located 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or online. Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com is where you can find them. The Trenton, baby. Go try it out. So Harper returning. Phillies over 500. Playing good baseball. Think winners of their 4th series in a row.
4th in a row, yeah.
Yep.
4 series in a row. Tonight's loss, before we get into Harper, tonight's loss comes from the fact that you were 0 for 8. We're runners in scoring position. So,
yeah.
True.
But
and Bailey Falter started.
He's been battling. He's been battling.
He battled, though. Yeah,
he didn't pitch great tonight, but he's been battling his last few starts.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But you had to figure that Houston was going to really try to get one of these. You don't get swept at home. We battled tonight, though. Came back a couple times. We've been playing really well. Besides Trey Turner, he's struggling hard. Besides him, we've been playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
not worried about Trey. He'll be fine.
I said it. I said it in the group chat to you guys earlier on. I said he looks locked in. Yeah, and he looks all out of whack. So I mean, like I told my dad too, calm down. Told my dad, calm down, dude. He looks bad, but I mean, guy's been doing it for a while. His numbers will even itself out.
Yeah, he knows. They said I saw when they're talking to Topper or today, and he said Trey's been talking about how he's swinging at too many bad pitches. He's got to lock in the zone. And I think that's the number one thing because right now he's swinging at way too many bad pitches.
Yeah, he's swinging at everything. Yeah,
everything. Yeah, everything he's swinging at.
Yeah, that means he's not seeing the ball.
And by the way, Swopey, he's ready to go, dude. He's gonna get cleared. He's gonna play Tuesday. Tom basically said it. He basically said it today. He said Harper's been hitting live pitching for over a week. He's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, just waiting for the head first slide clearance to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because he knows he's too stubborn to go feet first.
I just don't know, like Ryan. I just don't know where the rush comes in. Like it's not organizationally rushed, right?
It's not rushed. He's just ready to go.
It's not player rush. If a guy's ready to play, he's ready to play. Like
he's ready to go.
Like there's timetables for all this shit. You guys getting that echo?
Everybody's different, dude. He
just started though.
He heals like Adrian Peterson. You know what I mean? He's got a little bit of Wolverine in him. You know what I mean? Like arm rips off, throws back instantly. I mean, like this shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna say, well, the timetable says July. No, he fucking plays now if he's ready.
Yeah, we're gonna leave you to July. That's exactly what I was gonna say, Sweeps. Another jinx, right? And we've had a lot of them today together. Yeah. But to add on to our jinxes, that's exactly where I was going. Like, what are you gonna say? Well, it says like, you know what, all-star breakish. So you sit right there, sir. Shut the fuck up. All right, shut up. Not you, Swoop. To like the people worried about that. Like, it's all timetable. That's all it is. And timetables can be moved up or back.
Yeah, he's not doing anything right now, guys. He's been hitting. He's been hitting. He's been fielding. He's ready to go.
They
said they're not even going to put him on a. He's not even going to go down to the minors for a rehab assignment. No. I mean, he's ready to go.
Yeah, it's always about the individual player. The needle moves one way or the other, depending on the player. And sometimes when it's pain threshold, guys are built different than other people. You know what I mean? Now when it comes down to structure, and you know what I mean. So he's probably dealing with some scar tissue. He's good though. He's like, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, you tell me I can't hurt it anymore. You tell me I can't hurt it anymore. I'm in, dude. I'm good.
Just like you did last year, Sweeps.
A little scar tissue. I'm good. You want me to play some first? I'll take some G's.
Yeah.
Just like he said last year. Like, okay, I can't hurt any worse from swinging. All right, I'm here then. I'm good. I can deal with a little bit of pain with it.
Right.
I just don't think like he's. Oh, what I was gonna say before I run off real quick is that he's been the reason he doesn't even have to go to a minor league rehab is because he's been hitting off minor league pitching.
Yeah.
Every day during the day.
Yeah,
that minor league
10 straight days, he said he's been facing live pitching.
So I mean, the guy's probably got in those 10 days. He's guaranteed. I guarantee he's gotten 40 at bats. Bet he's gotten like a 40, 50 at bats in those 10 days. I bet he's got at least four. He probably averaged at least 4 ABs a day off of whatever came into town to see him. That's all. You know what I mean? That's not saying he's like 100% ready, like timing wise ready. But usually guys say, give me 50, give me 40, 50, and I'm good to go.
Just giving them back is a jolt though.
But we don't give it in the clubhouse. But we don't give it to our high school players though. But we give it to we make sure we give it to the pro players though. So I always laugh about the rush of high school baseball every year for guys. Like you get a month. Yeah, I mean, I know it's winter, but extend the season a little bit then, right? Extend it all out a little bit. Baseball's a hard sport. Let guys get going a little bit. Let guys get in like 10 scrimmages before the season starts. I don't know what the number is. I've never been at that level, but like I don't remember how many. I feel like we played more when we were younger. That I feel like we always got like 10 in.
You get schedules.
Autumn, we usually played a decent amount. I feel like, right, like 8 to 10.
You can schedule as many as you want. The weather is the
the weather usually is the problem.
They just switch the seasons with soccer.
Yeah,
they should switch the seasons.
Like I said, they allowed
because you're coming out of summer ball right in the.
They allowed. Well, yeah, I was just
season is great because people play football.
They allow travel ball to dictate everything. Right? There's no reason high school baseball can't be played through June. It doesn't matter if school's out.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
The weather's nice. We're in the Northeast. We don't need to be messing around in March and April, right? We should be able to play in June, okay? And then you want to start travel? We'll start in July. No, too much of a moneymaker, and school's out. Who cares if school's out?
There's no reason that it has to end before school gets out. I think we played in the state championship June 8th, right? So it means you're missing like a 3. You could cut the first 2 weeks off when you get rained out and it's freezing cold.
Yeah, I just don't think you start baseball in March like it does. Right, but you give that initial start of regular season games like the middle of April, right? You just push it a little bit, so now you get that little extra time to be together. More so, just because I don't know, I'm going off a tangent, but more so, you just get extra time together, right? Which I think is important, and for any sport. Better yet, baseball is that little bit of time, that extra time. Yeah, we get more time with travel ball players than we do with high school athletes. Think about that. Think about that.
I feel like a lot of them don't play together in the town anymore. You know what I mean? Like back in the day,
that's true
town
too.
Together, so you kind of know each other.
There is no town anymore. You're right.
They don't play together in town anymore. Everyone plays like specialized shit.
That's the biggest thing. The biggest hurdle, that we have as high school coaches is, time is what we covet. You know what I mean? And that's. We just don't have enough of it. You know what I mean? So when you're trying to develop guys, you do your best you can when you got 30, 35 kids, whatever the number is, you know what I mean? And, and some guys have, 1,000 coaches. I get that, you know what I mean? But, so you're just trying to do what you can in that window, you know what I mean? And unfortunately it's just not enough time. In the off season.
Yeah, and they got all kinds of rules.
In the off season, you're allowed to do strength and conditioning. In the off season, strength and conditioning, you're allowed to do, but you're not allowed to do baseball. But in Pennsylvania, in Delaware, in New York, all the surrounding states, you can. You can do year round with your teams. New Jersey's the only cocksuckers that think it's that's the rule. That's sorry. Who cares if you're working with your team year round? Who cares?
Yeah,
stupid.
Yeah. God forbid those kids get shown positive role models on a year-round basis. You know what I mean? And I mean, how many kids do you see that look up to their coaches throughout life? You know what I mean? And they're the ones that we're trying to limit time with.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
But no, I mean, get back to Harper. Yeah, getting back to Harper. I mean, the one good thing about it is he doesn't have to play the field right away. He can literally just hit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and stuff like that, right? You know what I mean, with the DH and I think a lot of this is on him. I think he sees the injury to Reese, and sees, puts a little bit of onus on himself, which is what you want from a leader, right? Which is what you want from your highest paid player, and saying, hey, I want to get back and help my team because they're down now 2 guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
2 high-level guys.
He gets back in behind Trey Turner. Turner gets more fastballs. It's everything. It helps everything.
It's an absolute snowball effect for each player. And then as a team, it's just, it's the old saying, you can't win the pennant in April, but you can lose it. You know what I mean? So he's looking at it like, listen, there's more wild cards now. So the Phillies aren't going to miss the playoffs, knock on wood. You know what I mean? But he still sees a slow start and he sees a slow start and he's like, all right, well, it's time for me. It's time. I'm feeling good. I'm hell.
Let me ramp up. Yeah.
I crushed my rehab and I'm good. I'm getting the clearance, and it's time to play baseball.
Yeah, I mean that's all it comes down to. If he gets the clearance, he's ready to go. Like Thompson said today, basically, he's chomping at the bit, is what he said. Bryce chomping at the bit. So he wants to be out there, which is, I mean, you can't ask for more, really. I mean, this is the guy This is the guy we wanted when we paid the money to him, and it's the kind of guy we got. A guy that's a worker and wants to be on the field. That's what we want.
Yeah, sorry, not to cut you off. And he's a position player. So we know it's not that common for position players to get it. The reason why the timetable is what it is because it's a pitcher's. It's mostly a pitcher's injury.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So of course you're not. A pitcher's not coming back on May 2nd
and throwing. Yeah,
because that's a psychological thing. A pitcher needs to build up and say, hey, listen, I need this. How am I feeling here? I'm feeling a little juice. Am I sore the next day? So that's why the timetable is so long because they're pitchers. Position guys, and this is a credit to Harp too. I mean, he's obviously healed better than most people, but you just don't see it in position guys. So, it's unprecedented. So
it's rare. Yeah, it's rare. I know Didi got it when he was a Yankee, and I'm pretty sure he came back and was playing shortstop right around 7.5 months. Now Harper would be like 5 months, right? Little over 5 if he came back this next week. So he's still maybe 2 months out from playing in the field, hopefully, but that's not that far out.
Yeah,
maybe end of July he's in the field.
Yeah, I feel like there's
in the outfield. I'm saying.
I feel like there's another position player that came back under 200 days.
Yeah, just a hit.
No, I think he was a position player. I'm trying to think. I'm going to try and find it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's the surgeries happen to players of all positions.
Definitely.
It's very rare. It's very rare.
Didi definitely came back pretty quickly, though.
It's a pitcher's injury.
It's definitely a pitcher's injury, 100%. Yeah, most common for pitchers, obviously.
Yeah.
Probably, I would say if they do 100 surgeries, 95 are pitchers.
Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of pitchers going to the IL, Jacob deGrom back to the IL. Shocker.
Yep. Forearm tightness. That's never a good one.
No. I feel that's like how Tommy John starts, isn't it?
Almost always how it starts.
But no, the Phillies been playing well. A couple good weeks here. Like I said, 4 straight series. I thought this week was going to be tough. Wilson, me and you talked about it last week. With Seattle being really good, and then also seeing Gilbert and Kirby, right? Seeing two of their top end guys.
In fact, we were able to take that game from Kirby, even though he threw a gem, was great.
Yeah,
because he was great that game.
Oh my God,
Strom was spectacular. Strom's been throwing well. I got no qualms with Strom right now. He's been throwing well.
Stromsy.
Yeah, I thought that was a good word right there. But seriously, I'm surprised at how well Strom has thrown. He's struck out a ton of guys, and he's thrown the ball really well. He's a little wild at times, but he's thrown the ball as best as we could have asked for when we said, okay, we're not going to have Ranger, and we're going to have Bailey and Strom in the rotation. I was like, man, this might not be great. Strom's been good. Strom's been damn good.
And Taiwan.
Yeah, well, Taiwan's now hurt too, right? So
yeah, and I'm just saying to your point, like it's if you had doubts about those guys, there's another guy in your doubts. I know it was for the signing and for the price and everything. It's a good signing on paper because guys weren't growing on trees. And he had a good year last year. He did have a good year last year.
He did.
And I'm not. Yeah. I just who he is. I just think.
I'm not sure how good he is, Sweeps. I'm right with you.
I think he is who he is, but. You should eat innings.
We need Ranger, though. Ranger's about to be back. I think Ranger's about to go on a rehab assignment.
Yeah, he was throwing flat grounds and stuff last week and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he's probably pretty close. That's good. And listen, we played pretty well in LA last year. LA is kind of scuffling. The Dodgers aren't that great.
No. They're definitely.
Guess what? What they do have is that Clayton Kershaw has been lights out, and we're going to miss him, which is.
And we miss him. We see old Urias. We'll just stay there. We won't go any deeper.
We smoked him last week. So let's go. Is that Tuesday?
It's Tuesday. We see Goslin, Urias, and Stone.
Harper went 4 for 4 against Urias last year. That would be great if he stepped in and was hot first. That would be amazing.
Well, that's what he. Remember, that's what he did last year when he came back. He was scorching hot that first week. Then he went into a tailspin for like 2 weeks. And then, we
back up in the playoffs.
We start out west in LA, and then we come home for Boston. Ironically, as the Sixers come home that same weekend so Boston will be in town.
Yes,
and all
Boston will be in town.
All the lame ass Boston fans.
What is so? They have the Sixers. I know we are past the Sixers talk, but is Game 3 Saturday?
Let's see here.
On the NBA,
Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. I would assume that's what it is.
NBA definitely stretches shit out. So.
Oh, for sure.
Come on,
Wednesday Game 2, Friday Game 3.
Oh, okay. Wow. So there isn't a 2-day break like they did all last series. Okay, well that's cool. I prefer that, even though Joel might not.
And it's funny too. That was the initial.
Friday, Sunday. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, so
that was the initial thought of Bryce's return was supposed to be Friday.
Nice. Yeah, the 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
But I like that. We play Friday and Sunday. That's good because I'm off Cinco de Mayo. It means I get to watch both games. Beautiful. Beautiful. We need to. I mean, listen. We got to take. I would love to see us take 2 or 3 from LA, and come back home after winning both series. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd love to sweep them, but 2 or 3 is fine.
You're right. We got to continue this hot play, right? You got to just, it's like Sweep said earlier, you can't lose it or you can't win it in April, but you sure can lose it, right? So now that we're playing well, we just got to keep stacking series on, right? Because we're bound to go into a little bit of the tailspin here coming up soon. Just because that's just the ebbs and flows of baseball. But yeah, I mean, just continue to keep winning series when you can. And you're right, Will. The Dodgers are very beatable right now. Or they're not the juggernauts that they usually are.
They don't have the ridiculous pitching that they've had the last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Gonsolin's banged up too, who's good last year. What's it called? Carrot Top hasn't thrown the ball great so far this year. Kershaw's been awesome.
He threw well the other day though.
But obviously,
I want to be quiet because it was against Sweeps' Cardinals.
Oh, another goal for Colorado. Tommy.
They're tied up, huh? Wow, that was a ball.
No.
Obviously,
no Scherzer. No, he's not there no more. No Bauer. So there's, they don't have as good pitching as they used to. And the one guy, Bush is starting. Is that Matt
Stone?
Bush? Oh, Stone. Who the hell is Stone? I don't know who that is. I thought I had a guy named Bush that was starting.
Well, they might, but we're facing Stone. Gavin Stone.
I don't know who that is.
24-year-old.
I play DFS every day. I don't know that motherfucker. That could be a good sign or a bad one.
24-year-old.
I guess it's a prospect. 24.
It looks like it'll be his first start.
Sweeps.
There's no stats.
They might be offsides. 52 might be offsides.
That was a 10.
I hate that you can go back and look at this offsides.
What are you doing, dude? That was 10 minutes ago. He blasted that.
Well, obviously, we know the refs are horrendous.
Oh my God, he's
definitely offsides.
When does the puck touch the blue line? Oh, he's off, dude.
Yeah, he's offsides.
He's off. He's off. Wow.
And they let that shit go for like 5 minutes. Oh my God.
I don't like how they can go way back in hockey like this. I don't like it.
That's what I'm saying,
I don't like it.
Oh, he's
it's
way
like
off.
It reminds me of like
way off.
Yeah,
yeah.
It reminds me of like the guys when
Samsonite. I was way off.
Guys would call in like oh that guy accidentally touched his ball on the 16th. The guy calling in from home. Shut up, you nerd.
Man, that cost you the series. God damn.
Damn, that's upsetting.
That is demoralizing. Especially when it wasn't like that hitter. You know what I mean? Like the play just continues. They score, and then they're like, let's take a look at this.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Look at this guy, buddy. Did you watch the replay? He's way off.
And Derek, I fully agree with Derek's comment. I think we already mentioned it, but obviously, from everything I'm reading, it seems like Bryce is expecting to be cleared. So let's go. Giddy up.
Greg, you're like always wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Always wrong.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, no,
you need me to be wrong about something?
No. I don't need anything. It's just the Dodgers are actually starting to play good baseball now. Like, we didn't catch them at the right time.
They're just not as good as they've been in the past. Though.
Well, we're also playing really good baseball too.
Yeah.
We were just implying that they're not the juggernauts they used to be.
Yeah, just the last few years they've been a juggernaut. They're not that team right now. They got a lot of young guys playing. I mean, they're not playing bad, but they're playing a lot of young guys.
No. Like that's you guys aren't wrong totally there, right? It's just like right now, it's like we're probably not catching them at like the best time. Yeah,
I mean that's what happens when St. Louis comes to
town.
I
think they got 15 wins.
Sorry.
And I think 15 wins and Kershaw's 5-0, right?
Keep shooting because they're atrocious. So shoot away.
They are. St. Louis is on a struggle bus.
Yeah.
Arenado, I got him in fantasy. I might drop him. What's happening?
Drop him. Jeez.
Tony Womack. Tony Womack was the name I was looking at.
Tony Womack?
Had the quickest return of a big leaguer. Did not miss a game and needed a mere 182 days.
Former second
to return to the field.
Old Dragon Breath got Tommy John.
Tony Womack.
Second baseman, Arizona?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joshua, you would think that the runners in scoring position should get better, and it's not going to get better just because he's here. It's going to get better because it like lengthens it.
Well, it lengthens anytime you get a superstar back, it lengthens your lineup. Besides how good he is.
Yeah, so it's a win. It's a win on all levels, because this lineup is good. It's shown you it can hit. It's just shown you that it struggled to at times. Now to stay
consistent.
The last 4 series, they've been a lot better with it. And that's why they've won them. and their bullpen's been the best in baseball.
Yeah, our bullpen's been lights out since the very beginning of the year when we struggled. That first week and a half, it's been lights out.
Yeah, it was like first 10, 15 games.
Out. And we expected that, right?
Alvarado might be the best pitcher in baseball.
Well, when he throws strikes, this is what you tell guys, right? When you throw strikes, funny how you're that successful.
Yeah.
When you when you throw strikes. Well, especially when your stuff moves like his, right? But just in general, like strikes are your best friends. I mean, there's no better friend in life.
Him and Soto have been throwing strikes. They look dominant.
Yeah, funny thing. Soto couldn't throw a strike. He stunk. Sir Anthony couldn't throw a strike. Stunk.
Yeah.
All 3 of those guys found the zone. Uh-oh.
Yeah. When you're getting ahead.
100 from each all 3 of them. Uh-oh.
You're around the zone, and you're getting ahead, and you're around the zone. Your stuff is electric. You're unhittable. I mean, so
it's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie,
woogie. When guys getting hitters counts, that 100 looks like 90, right? Yeah. But when you're behind in the count, that wipeout slider, 100 looks like 107, and then the slider, you look like Bugs Bunny on. You know what I mean? So, no fun.
No, not
3 swings. 3 swings before it gets to the plate.
Yep.
Yeah, Tom, you're right. I mean, it lengthens it right now. So now instead of having a lineup where you have Cody Clemens and Sosa in the game, now it's only one of those 2, right? And the Jake Cave experiment goes away. You know what I mean? Because now you don't have to have 3 of those guys in a lineup, every night. Now it's only 1 or 2 of those guys.
Yep, exactly. Then lengthens your bench a little bit. It just does a lot of things.
Yeah, gets a really good lefty behind Trey. Gets Trey more fastballs. I mean, it does a lot of things for you.
Yep.
I'll tell you. We might argue had the best hitting coach in baseball too.
Kevin Long.
Because I mean, what he did in a small sample size with Christian Pache before he got hurt, it was pretty impressive.
It really was because I mean the guy couldn't flat out. He could hit you or me standing next to us
his whole life.
Yeah.
Brandon Marsh though,
is another one.
Has been amazing. He's been incredible.
It's funny. Him and Schwarber
4th in OPS. He's 4th in baseball in OPS.
Him and Schwarber, first I'll say Sosa and Marsh were such great acquisitions from Dave Dombrowski. But what I'll say is, and it's funny because they're different, obviously, but Marsh and Schwarber did so much talking, hitting in spring, like together one-on-one during BP rounds, etc. Like really trying to get better, right? And probably trying to lose some more baseballs too. In Marsh's head. But Brandon Marsh has been superb.
Yeah, and that's what he said last year. Like before the Phillies went on their amazing run was, when the trade happened, there's your center fielder. Dude can flat out go get it. Let him hit ninth. Who cares what he does offensively? You know what I mean? Whatever he gives you offensively is going to be a bonus because he can go out and get it. He can go get it in center field. So when you get to sharpen your teeth, we're seeing it at the high school level. You know what I mean? I'm not bringing myself into this, but I got a bunch of freshmen playing. You know what I mean? So you can't wait till next year. They're getting a ton of experience. So that, for Marsh last year, he got to go through that whole play. The ups and downs, and he got to go through that whole playoff ride and the whole playoff grind and to play, play into October, man, and it battle tests you and it shows you. It just it allows you to understand. Hey, man, this is. I get a chance to be really good at this if I put the time in and I make adjustments and I listen to people who are either veterans or a very, 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 very good, if not the best, hitting coach in the league. So when you buy into that stuff as a young man, the talent's there. You make it to the big leagues for a reason. Most guys don't last in the big leagues because they're head. Not because they're talent. We know that, the top guy and the 25th guy, I'm not comparing that guy, Trout's Trout and the 25th guy is who he is. But the 25th guy is pretty damn good. He just doesn't make adjustments. He's not as talented as Trout. Don't get me wrong. I'm not twisting this. But he also doesn't make adjustments. All right. He's not mentally tough. And those guys, get eaten up by the grind and they get eaten up, all right, by failure. Right, where the
mentally tough thing is
the greats make adjustments pitch to pitch, and they can deal with failure. And they tomorrow's a new day. Where young guys are pressing a lot. And then they find themselves out of the league.
Sweet, we talk about it all the time, right? I mean, we have millions of conversations about it, but not just with you. I have one of a lot of people, right? Sometimes in our line of work per se, we get swings, right? Don't get me wrong, but a lot of it is I'm a goddamn psychiatrist, right? It's like, come have a seat on my couch. Let me clear you. Let me clear the upstairs out, right? Let me try to clear you out, make you confident again, trust in what you work on. Stop thinking so much when you're up there and just go be instinctual and let all the work you do here when you are thinking. I always say we think inside, we think in practice, right? Can't think when we're live, man. Like, situationally you think, right? You think two-strike approaches, right? You think things like that. But really you're thinking hunt in your red zone. So I bring up MLB The Show all the time. The younger kids, because that's just an easy conversation. I know they all play it, right? So, and Greg, right? So I know Greg and all the young guys play it. I wish I could.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But there's a red zone and the cold zone for the best of the best. So if they got colds, so do we. So our job as hitters to find out what they are. Because the quicker we can find out what we hit well and what we don't, is the quicker we can work on what we don't hit well, and the quicker we can learn on hunting what we do.
Yeah,
and what zones
look
we
for
like.
Your pitch. Yep.
And it's hard to have a conversation with that with younger guys sometimes, but you got to know what your zone is early. And I always tell guys, you know what? Maybe it's just me, and I'm not the best hitter of all time, right? I'm not going here. But the mental side of it, I thought I was good with on terms of this, like. When two strikes got here, it's time to party. It's time to party. Because I look at it like, you think you're going to get me out? You're in for a dogfight on my end. I look at it like a Bryson Stott. I want to foul pitches off. I want to work, man. I don't want to make this easy on you. And that's what makes you get to become a complete hitter, is when you're not scared of that. When you're not worried about, I got two on me. He holds the cards. Good. Let him hold the cards. So do you. And you hold the cards and fight all stuff, work, grind, battle, and there's quality at bats and there's just ABs, right? Like I tell guys all the time, you can have a quality AB that's 10 pitches long. You might strike out or ground out, and you say to yourself, "Oh, that was a bad AB." No, it wasn't, because you're result driven. But be result driven on quality ABs, and the results will come. If I'm thinking contact, if I'm thinking limit my strikeouts, put balls in play, my success rate's probably going to go up. This shit ain't hard. I wish I could have thought like this when I played, right? I didn't because I was a fucking animal, right? Where you know, you wear your heart on your sleeve type. But you know, you wish you could go back and do it again because you're going on a tangent there. It's all mental. It's all, especially at that level. Like, you know, it's all that.
It's a thinking man's game. But I tell our guys all the time, like, it's when you think, all right? I don't want you thinking in the box. You know what I mean? You think, you stink. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in the dugout, take a look at the chart. We keep a chart for a reason. Not because I want to hang it on my wall. Not because I like my handwriting. You know what I mean? Like, we keep a chart for a reason. Take a look at the chart. How many of you guys take a look at the chart? You wonder why you're not hitting. Take a look at the chart. Guys falling in a pattern. I got to tell you, take responsibility for yourself. So that happens. It should happen at every level. And, it just depends. You should constantly be thinking about situations and all that good stuff. But when you get in the box, see ball, hit ball. That's it. Simplify it, man. Get done.
Like you're in the field. Obviously, you're thinking pre-pitch on what you're going to do with a baseball, right? Like those types of things. But when the ball's hit the you, right, then you're instinctual, right? Yeah. So it's like it's thinking when you're not in the moment, like any sport, right? Like any sport. When a quarterback, you're thinking huddle. You're thinking when you line up. You're thinking what coverage they're running. But then when the snap comes, it's read, react.
Reacting.
Trust the work you put in. Trust what you see. Same thing for baseball. Trust what you see. Know what you're going to do with the baseball before it's hit to you, right? Know what you said, Sweeps. Like I say it all the time. You guys notice every time this guy got a strike, he goes all speed to you. But is anybody else looking at that? Does anybody else see that? Because you've been now no hit for 4 innings, right? Like anybody else pick up on that? That everybody's down 0-2? And that's what and that's where you're like, okay, I feel like I got a lot of guys at the plate that don't have that. But it's you're right about like the 25th to the 25th to the 10th guy, right? The 25th to the 10th guy, their margin is the brain.
Yep.
And maybe the brain they're getting on the road too. You know what I mean? So
it's a game of failure. You gotta know how to cope with it.
No, that one just went right by you guys. All right.
I mean, I'm sure they're getting brain on the road too. I'm right with you on that.
No, I just said maybe more brain. The more brain they get on the road, the better their average is. I'm not here to, I'm not here to throw, throw guys under the bus.
I'm always in favor of more brain on the road. So,
yeah.
Brain up.
I got straight face when that was over. Like nobody even blinked. Nobody blinked. I'm like, did I freeze? Felt good coming out. Did it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure it felt good coming in too, but
I hold on, Nola.
Oh.
No, Ethan, we are going to segue to that right now. Actually, we are going to segue over to that and give our grades for that in 1 second here, and we will do this. We'll do this. Our Eagles Draft Talk is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. The Philadelphia 5 for 5 sports travel company. Premium travel and tailgating experiences for the passionate fans of Philadelphia. Go to phillysportstrips.com and book your getaway today. phillysportstrips.com. And not just for Eagles, babe. Right? This ain't just like an Eagles thing. Right? You want to go to Wrigley for the Phils? You want to go to Denver for the Phils? You want to go PNC Park for the Phillies? A lot of options. Petco Park, beautiful.
I saw they had a San Diego one for September.
Yeah, Greg, get on it, Greg. Greg, get on it, Greg.
Get up all in it, Greg.
Get up in her.
I like Pittsburgh Stadium's really nice too.
Haven't been, and
really nice.
Great stadium.
I'm going to go to one of them. So
yeah, PNC's a good one. I mean, that's not far. It's an easy drive.
Yeah, it's either going to be that or a Commanders game, right? For the Birds.
We used to always do Washington trip, take a bus down.
But I like football at home,
Yeah, I agree. The one year we got into a brawl, so yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, this is not part of Philly Sports Trips. We just went on our own when we were pups. But it wasn't Philly Sports Trips brawl. We didn't start it either. It was Washington fans. Usually is.
We didn't start the brawl.
But no, I like football at home. But obviously, I would love to they got a Tampa trip. Obviously, Dallas. I think a lot of those would be fun.
Oh, a Tampa trip would be nice. I know people in the area.
Yeah, Tampa would be nice too. Tampa
Greg?
would be nice too. So would PNC. PNC's talking to me a little bit. I got to see when that series is. PNC's speaking to me.
The
Yeah,
Pirates
if you
are
haven't
playing,
been, it's a really nice stadium.
Pirates are playing great. So
Greg, I'm scared to ask you, Greg.
could be a
When
monster
did
series.
When did the Phillies play the Pirates?
I'm scared to ask you, Greg. You're gonna tell me like November.
Yeah,
Could be. Could be.
I'm gonna guess June.
Like Sweep said, could be November. So Eagles draft grades. University of Georgia North here.
Tommy, I don't know if you saw while you were away, Tommy, but
July
Colorado scored,
28th.
and then they called it back.
5 minutes later, bro.
Kind of brutal.
Offsides. 5 minutes later, they reviewed an offsides, Tom. Insane.
What?
Never seen.
Like they scored the goal, and then they went
I
back and
know.
they said, "Oh, like a minute before you scored, when you first got the puck in the zone, the guy was offsides." And they checked it, and they said, "Oh yeah, he was," and they called the goal off.
Insane.
Oh my god.
Which I didn't even think you could do. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
July 28th, 29th, and 30th is when they're in Pittsburgh.
I mean, 28th is my birthday. It sounds like a giddy up.
Yeah, it
Giddy up, let's go.
doesn't work for Tom.
Jesus.
I wasn't inviting Tom. I was talking about myself.
Well, maybe you should want to invite Tom because I got a voucher to go to whatever one I want and take some people. So maybe you might want to talk have a little class when you speak to me now.
I mean, you put me down pretty quick right there. And not even I said that's my birthday. I didn't even have birthday. It doesn't work for me.
It doesn't. I got a tournament. What do you want me to do?
You have a tournament every week. Nothing works for you then.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty close.
But we're booked. let me check my calendar. We're booked.
Your PDF. Check your PDF. Would you?
Oh,
That's weird.
God.
I can make that PNC trip happen. I'm gonna look into that.
The
Wouldn't be a
Pirates
bad
are
birthday
playing well.
present. Little Pirates game.
They're playing well,
Pirates are good. Yeah, lead the NL.
and they haven't
Best
even
record
brought up
in
the
the NL.
pup yet. And they drafted well. They haven't even brought up the puppies yet.
I was gonna say I like a couple of their. I'm not sure how their pitching is gonna hold up, but they're pitching well right now. Some of the young guys, Oviedo, Mitch Keller threw the ball
Mitch
well,
Keller.
which is
Fantastic.
amazing. Who's the other guy that's throwing the ball well? There's another guy, weird name, Ronzi Contreras throwing the ball well.
Velasquez as well.
Oh yeah, Vinny
Velo.
Vinny Velo throwing the ball well. That's funny. Best time he threw the ball for us was when he played left field. Great throw. Great dime to home plate from left field. Man, yeah, but I like the Pirates. I mean, Brian Brown's a stud.
Yeah. Well,
Jake Sawinski can play.
all right, back to the
I'll
Eagles. So back to the Eagles real quick. Give our grades. I want to read out what Howie Roseman said to Nick Sirianni when he visited Georgia last year. He said, "I went to Georgia last year. Went to Georgia last year at practice. I remember coming back. Coach was like, 'Who did you like there?' I'm like, 'I don't know. I like the whole defense.'"
Apparently
Apparently he did.
He
Can't blame
wasn't
him.
lying. He
Yeah,
wasn't lying.
And I can't blame him. You know what I mean? I really, truly, it got funny with the Ringo. Like then you went Ringo, and it was like, wow, another one. But I mean, Ringo was probably the best player on the board at that time too. So when you look at it like that, so the Eagles walk away in the first round, 9 overall with Jalen Carter, and then 30th overall they get Nolan Smith, both from Georgia. Then
great value pick, Nolan Smith, where he got him.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was going top 15.
Then the second round, 65 overall. You could smell this coming. Offensive lineman Tyler Steen from Bama, where he played most recently. And then they got a great pick, I thought, in the third round with Sidney Brown. A need for us. And another best player probably on the board there. Probably dropped a little late for Sidney. Probably more of a second round grade in most people's mocks, right? Is where I saw Sidney go a lot. So that, he's a good player from Illinois. We talked about we didn't want all three, right? But when we take one of them, we'll take one of them, sure. And that's the position we needed. Another team captain guy too. So I like that. Then in the fourth, we get Kelly Ringo from, guess who? Georgia. And then the sixth round, I mean, we're starting to not matter at all. Sixth round, Tanner McKee, QB from Stanford. He's a clipboard kitty. And in the seventh round, see if the guy makes a roster, but Moro Ajomu, defensive tackle. And I don't know if I got that name right, but it felt like I did.
Ajomu sounded good.
Felt really good about that.
Yeah.
Felt really good about that.
It was really it was really smooth, even if it was wrong.
Yeah, just came off the tongue like, you know what I mean?
I'll drink to that.
Salute. Hey,
We're
salute.
gonna run with it. That it was good.
So, I mean, listen, 3 Georgia guys, but guys that were the best players on the board at the time of the picks, too. Definitely needs, because you can always use – we knew we could use another defensive lineman up front, and Jalen Carter's a good one to have because he can definitely come in and play day one and have a similar impact Javon Hargrave had, maybe even more. Because
dude was the best player in college last year.
Yeah, maybe even more.
Fact.
Like, not a shot at Javon Hargrave, just maybe even more. Because there is a lot of guys. This front's still really good. Takes pressure off of guys if you play with this front. Just does. So, and I believe Nolan Smith.
With his boys.
Nolan's
a good thing too.
I think it's a great thing. And Nolan Smith's going to play this year too, because he's an impact guy. He's another team captain. He's another.
He'll probably play third downs a lot, I bet.
Yeah, another 4-year guy at Georgia. Like, I mean, number 1 prospect in the country coming out. So his accolades have stayed with him, and he's lived up to the billing at the biggest level. And
he's a bit of a tweener, but we have a tweener that's really good.
But it's okay to be a tweener in this league because he can cover.
Hassan Reddick is a tweener. That's really good. So
yeah, but even more so though, this guy ran a 4.39. I don't know if Hassan Reddick ever ran a 4.39. So
I don't know.
He can cover more than it's probably being talked about too. You know what I mean? So he can be that tweener that like rushes the passer, but can play linebacker and cover and be instinctual enough on the outside linebacker role to be able to do things there too.
I saw his interview. He's well spoken. I like him. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, there's a reason.
I was nervous about taking him at 10 because I thought like, I feel like he's a tweener. It might be too high, but at 30, it's a great pick.
At 30, it's a steal. At 30, it's a steal. Because people did have us at 10. I said, no way.
I thought we might take him at 10.
Greg knows Wednesday night. I said, that's absurd. I said, on Wednesday night, I said, if you want to talk to me about 30, I'm all in. Yeah. But at 10, absolutely not. That's Jalen Carter. That's Bijan. There's other better players there. That's a reach. That's look how cute I am at 10.
Agreed.
At 30, it's dude, this guy's super talented.
Yeah, I thought he would have been going by 20, honestly.
And I'm gonna keep saying it. He's another instinctual cat from there. Big time IQ guy, just like Nakobe, and one of their leaders, just like Nakobe. I can't speak enough about how that shit matters at the next level when you're good. If you stink and you're just a great leader, rah-rah guy, cool. But when you can play and not only play and you're a team captain, but you're a national champion, I don't know. That holds a little bit more value to me.
2 times.
Not to mention. And how he spoke on it, too.
Nolan's a 2-time. Nakobe's not.
Yeah. No, Nolan's 2-time, yeah.
Yeah, Jalen and Nolan are 2-time.
Jalen and Nolan. Both guys that we just drafted are both 2-time.
Yeah. And how
Greg, hold on. Shows you how good those 2 guys are because of everything they lost the year before and they weren't supposed to repeat and they go do it again. Shows you how good those 2 guys are on defense for them. Or 3.
They won the national championship game by 70 points.
Because Ringo's a stud too. I don't care what anybody's got to say. He might be more of a safety at the next level. Yeah. But they're going to get. They're going to give.
Guess what? We kind of need the safety more anyway.
But either way, he's got time.
Yeah, right? Either way, figure it out.
Ringo and even the couple DBs that we signed as the undrafted, they all have time. You know what I mean? You can mold them either into the cornerback you want or the safety you want because, as we talked about pre-draft and why we didn't necessarily want to go cornerback at 10 is we just re-signed our whole secondary.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
You have Slay, Bradbury, and Maddox back, so you can afford to just take Ringo there in the 3rd round despite why he's dropping, right? You know what I mean? Because who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares that he dropped at that point? Because you don't need him to fill in right away. And where I was going to go with Howie and all the Georgia guys, and you spoke about it, for a high-level team like this and a high-level defense like this, the more guys that you get that have used to playing in those types of games and also used to playing together helps the learning curve and helps the quote unquote nervousness of playing at that next level because they have guys right there next to them telling them how to do it. Right?
It's in Arizona State. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't go get the best player from Arizona State in the draft. Not saying that guy can't be a superstar, right? But there's a method. There's a method to winning, especially in football. I mean, obviously you need players and playmakers, but that locker room, that belief, right?
I think they were locked in on getting Carter for the whole time too.
I do too.
Like I think they re-signed Fletcher strictly knowing like we're going to have 2 young pups here for you to train.
3.
Well, 3, yeah, technically, yeah.
Well, because of Milton. I count Milton Williams in that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'll count him in there too.
Because I think he's a very good player, and I think if he ends up being that third guy next 2 years from now, that's a pretty good front. If you have Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Milton Williams, and knowing Eagles will draft another one too next year. So, but I disagree. Somebody said
Derek Carr going Georgia this year.
No, he'll be on the roster, Joshua. He'll be on the roster.
Yeah, he will.
He still can play. It's not like he's 27 too. He's not even old yet. That's a crazy thing. He's just an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to be. Man, that's if you don't give the Eagles an A, then I don't know.
It's got to be an A.
I don't know what you're looking at if you don't give them an A, because even with the draft picks, even
another dog coming in DeAndre Swift too.
I was just gonna say, take the draft pick out of the way. Swift's coming to town, so come on, dude. That guy's a pretty good back in this league. I mean,
oh yeah,
behind our line,
you can run the ball, you can catch the ball, you can catch the ball in the backfield.
We get like 12, 14 games out of him and what's the call?
And the reason he fell out of grace last year is because they gave 30 touchdowns to Jamal Williams at the goal line. You know what I mean? But or Swifty would have had a monster year too. So Georgia and Alabama been the 2 best teams in football in college football for probably the last 10 years. You can throw in Ohio State and occasionally Clemson. All right. So if you're going to take any, you might as well take guys from those schools. So as much as we make it, we make light of it, like that's the well I'm going to, shit, like whether it pans out or not, whether they, decide that they can play at the next level or their work ethic isn't there. I don't know. But all I know is, hey, listen, I'm going to keep going to that tree. I'm going to keep eating from that apple.
Yeah.
They just like
apple tastes good.
Hey, Adam and Eve, they ate that apple. Eat the apple and eat it.
Well, it tells you
good. There's still more apples on the tree. I'm on going back.
Dev, I agree with you. It's an A++ on paper. And I think even more so is that he just got 2 Georgia guys last year, 1st and 3rd round picks. So going back to that well again tells you what how the organization feels about year 1 of Nakobe Dean and year 1 of Jordan Davis.
Right.
It even tells you even more how much they believe in those 2 after being around them for a year.
Well, especially because we let the 2 guys walk that played their positions.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, think about it.
Huge. They both weren't huge, impactful on the field for most of the year. I mean, Nakobe especially, right? Yeah, Nakobe especially was just a special teams guy. But you're right, Tom. I mean, they must inside that room and inside their individual, meeting rooms, they must be aces in there.
Yeah, and I think the special teams play Nakobe showed, right? Obviously, Jordan, when he was healthy, was impactful against the run, right? So, I mean, and I think it's the type of teammates they are. And it also most says to Howie, well, you know what? The reason why that defense was so great 2 years ago is because Jordan and Jalen played next to each other, and Nakobe was behind them, and Nolan Smith was on,
and Nolan was on the edge,
and Nolan was on an edge somewhere, right? And Ringo was in the back somewhere, right? So I mean,
and honestly, we drafted them for that. We drafted Nakobe and Jordan to take. We figured, hey, we're probably going to lose some guys, and we got these guys. So these are the guys we can willing to lose.
Yep.
I mean, is Kirby doing a good enough job though? I mean, like
no,
not just the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles understand that, but the number 1 pick last year to the Jags. I mean, like There's Georgia guys littered all over this place.
I think they said it was 25, 28.
Georgia guys littered
the
all
last
over.
2 years.
Doing a good enough job, Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guess what? They're loaded again.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they are. All right, boys. Crumb of the week, and let's get out of here.
I will say I'll get an A+. I don't know if I gave the grade, but A+.
I have no idea. Yeah.
A+. I'm not even that high. I'm not as high as everyone on Sidney Brown, but I got to see more of him. But I don't know. I think he's a good player. I think it's easier to play safety when you have the best quarterback in the nation in front of you. So, but we'll see.
Well, you're gonna have 2 good cornerbacks. 3 if you count Avante too. You know what I mean? So if he steps in, he's got to step in and play here. He's in a good spot here too.
True. I'm just not sure.
Also gets a year to learn.
Also
gets a year to learn too.
Year to learn.
Well, he won't be thrown in. He won't be a starter this year unless he has a monster camp, right?
Which we're all for. Have a monster camp.
Yeah. Take somebody's job. I'm all for somebody proving they're better than somebody.
Yeah.
So, but
and we know the Eagles too. My last point on this is we know they're usually very good at the undrafted free agent side of it too. And I like a little bit of I like a few of the guys they got there.
Yeah, read them
obviously. We got the
Eli Ricks, obviously.
Yeah, you got Eli Ricks, the other guy from Bama. Obviously, falls
hurt
out
a lot
because he's always hurt.
Yeah, hurt a lot. He's got a lot of talent though. People thought he was going to go top 20. If you went like last year and you said what you're going to be, you know how they're giving like their 2024.
If you went 2 years ago, or his first year at LSU where he had 4 picks before, then he transferred out. But he had 4 picks his first year, which is a lot in college football, right? And then after that, he may have had 1 the rest of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Todd.
If he played like four games this last year,
like early 2023 mock a year ago, he had him going like 16th or something, and he doesn't get drafted. That's kind of wild.
Yeah. Joseph Nagata is a wide receiver out of Clemson. I know they gave a lot of money to him, almost a $200,000 guarantee too. So usually you give an undrafted guy that type of money, he's probably going to be at least around. Punter squad out of Kansas State, Ty Zentner. Offensive lineman out of Louisville, Trevor Reed. Cornerback, Mekhi Gardner out of LSU. We just talked about Ricks. Another wide receiver. This one comes with ties to Jalen Hurts. Jaden Hasselwood out of Arkansas. Played with Hurts in Oklahoma. Kind of very similar to that Calcaterra signing from last year. And then they signed a linebacker, Ben Van Summerlin from Michigan State.
Yeah, he stinks.
Well, he's young. He began as an offensive player and flipped over to defense.
Okay, TJ Edwards like.
Yes.
All right.
Empty net. 45 seconds left. Empty net.
Yep.
Man, you guys are 45 seconds? I'm on regular TV and I got a minute and 20.
Fucking sweeps down the street from me and he's 10 seconds ahead of me.
Seattle in the last like 5 minutes too.
Guy's living next door and he's somehow faster.
What was the game we were watching the other night, Brian? They were pulled the goalie with 7 minutes and we couldn't get an empty net goal. Vegas. 7 minutes.
7 minutes left. They had the goalie pulled. No one scored a goal. How's this? What's happening?
Yeah.
How's it even possible?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Wild Coyote dude's about to win this series.
It came from tonight. For me, it's got to be the Boston Bruins. I mean, come on. You got a historic season, an unprecedented season. The most
Here's
points.
Another one.
65 wins. The Avalanche are awesome too. You're talking about the 1 and the 2 teams in the NHL.
Yeah,
I don't know. One's already home. One's gone fishing, and the other one's in a lot of trouble. But a historic season that the Bruins had, 3-1 lead in this series, and then you get Game 7 on your own ice, and it just that's a failure. You know what I mean? As eloquent as Spelling Bee was the other night in his response to that reporter, at least he missed 3 games, and he can he elaborated on and stuff like that, but it still is a failure. When you're at full strength and you're the better team and you're the 1 seed, you're big time choke job, big time crumb of the week. Boston Bruins. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
I'll go. First, I want to start by saying Shaquille Barrett's 2-year-old son or 2-year-old daughter died this morning, drowned in the pool, and that's gut-wrenching even to say. So prayers to the Bucks and Shaq Barrett family. That's awful, just awful, unthinkable, unimaginable. Crumb.
It gets me choked up just thinking about it.
Yeah, just awful. It's just unimaginable. It's like the biggest fear for a parent. It's like it's awful.
Yeah, that's why I contemplate getting a pool now.
It's just unimaginable.
You know, you just contemplate it. You're like, oh man, do I? And in Florida, that's all you got. You know, and everybody does. So you know, just sucks. Just
that's
terrible.
Awful. Just
terrible.
Awful.
Terrible.
And my crumb will be Mike Budenholzer's my crumb. And I know I'm not going to really kill them for I know Giannis basically didn't play in 3 games. It's tough to lose your best player and still win that series, even though as the 1 seed, you would think you would still win that series. But Budenholzer, I thought, was completely outcoached by Spoelstra in the series. He was bad, and it amplified when they hit the last shot to go to tie the game. There's 0.6 left. You have a timeout left. You can move the ball to half court, get a look. They don't even call a timeout. They just throw the ball in. What's going on? That is like such an absolute epic brain fart that can't happen in that situation. That you have to be Crumb. So I'm not sure. You almost got to be fired, but you have to be Crumb. So Budenholzer, my Crumb.
Yeah, one thing about Mike.
His brother passed away too, right?
I was going to say his brother passed away. Like I think that week.
That's terrible.
I'm not trying to give the guy a pass, but
no. On the court. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Yeah. So mine is
Dave Haxall, by the way, is moving on.
Yeah, that Wile E. Coyote bastard. I can't believe it.
Go ahead, Greg.
Mine's gonna be mine's ESPN. Is that you, Tommy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure I don't have another page. It's like doing mine's ESPN and the worldwide.
Your Pornhub isn't up. You're good.
I thought Prism. I thought I had Prism.
That's on the phone, not the work computer.
I was looking around like, is Prism?
I heard one when I was on. I was like, what was it?
He didn't laugh with you. Mine's ESPN and the worldwide leader. Just their broadcast quality for games, at least for hockey, is just absolute trash. I mean, even the baseball tonight was horrible. I mean, it's like they have dinosaurs. They just pull the worst guys in to call the games. Steve Levy's a dinosaur at hockey. They still have the corpse of Linda Cohn walking around doing like on ice interviews. There's the product. I mean, when you watch TBS and TNT, like, just like in the NBA, you watch their broadcast versus ESPN, it's night and day, and it's just you keep calling yourself the worldwide leader, and it's just you're couldn't be furthest from the truth anymore.
Yeah, I agree. They're frauds.
Yeah, ESPN's a joke. So
yeah,
you're 100%.
You know who else is a fraud?
And TNT and TBS is way better coverage.
100%.
There's another fraud out there. And that's Jim Irsay, the pill popper, owner of the Indianapolis Colts. And it shows his true colors again by drafting a QB who threw for 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions his last year of college. And I know Anthony Richardson's 20 years old and probably has an upside, but it's another reach job by Jim Irsay trying his best to get a quarterback in there because everything they've brought in after Andrew Luck has failed, essentially. So it just shows you what teams do when they reach. And then he wanted to joke about Will Levis later on, right? Like the next day, he puts a tweet out about Young in Montana. Like stop, dude, stop. Like that's what the Titans went and did, right? Yeah. They went and made that mistake. Like you just drafted a guy.
That whole division.
You just drafted a guy in the first round last year. I don't think Malik Willis can play, but regardless, you just did it, right? You just did it. You can't go draft another goddamn quarterback. You can't go draft another one in the top 2 rounds. Should be illegal.
Well, if the other guy can't play, you can't.
The other guy can't play either. You draft another guy who can't play either. So now you double stamped yourself. You said, you know what? Not only do we got
double stamp.
not only do we got one guy who stinks, we're gonna make sure we have 2 guys who stink. One can stink, run all the fuck around, and the other can stink just by mayo and coffee and in the pocket.
Well, you get to see his girlfriend every day, so it's a good pick.
I guess. Well, I mean,
and maybe sisters.
I know his truths in college, but I'm not going to go there.
No, his truths.
Not the player's truth. The head coach, Mikey V.
I agree with you 100%. Like you're at 4. You know you might as well move up. You knew the other 2 guys. It was a far drop off between the first 2 guys. You know, so you should have made your way up. And I'm not saying that it would have gave it. You know, it would have got done. You know what I mean? But you got to make your way up to get one of those other 2 guys. You know what I mean?
Agreed, Sweeps.
I mean,
if that's what you're going to do, yeah.
You know what I mean? If that's what you're going to do, that's what you have to. You have to get in. You have to get one of those 2 guys if that was your goal. If not, then you go somewhere else. You go best player available. You don't take Anthony Richardson on Todd McShay's advice. Todd McShay said, "These are the best tools I've ever seen at the quarterback position." Didn't say the best player. Said the best tools at the position that he's ever seen. He can throw the ball 80 feet, 80 yards. He runs a 4-10. And we've seen plenty of guys with talent. Knock it off. Gross.
Yeah. Well, now ends run 4.39s. So now ends like Nolan Smith run 4.39s. So your little 4.240s don't matter as much anymore. Right? Everybody's faster out there. So the guy couldn't play in college. I don't know what's going to change now, but that's fine. I think that's a terrible pick. I could be wrong down the road, and that's fine, right? But I'm going to take my side over Jim Irsay's.
And Todd
McShay. I think Reuben Frank could have been a part of this Crumb.
Oh, he's a big Crumb too. He could be a big Crumb.
That the question that he asked Jalen Carter and then echoed it to Howie and
Sirianni
was a clown question.
Yep.
And he's saying I don't think he sounded like he was
showing
enough remorse.
Yeah,
remorse. He wasn't remorseful or whatever.
And Nick and Howie's answer was spot on because they said,
they were.
Guys, it's the biggest night of his life.
Come on, dude.
It's the biggest night of his life. You can't give the kid a break on the biggest night of his life.
Seriously.
Like they even say, like, listen, I don't say a lot of good things often, and I don't put my trust in organizations like I do when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles and fucking character. You understand? So if you want to give a team a pass on something, assume that they do their homework better than anybody in terms of character. So you can have a lot of question marks about if a player can play or can't play, but there's been no history of Howie Roseman not doing thorough background checks.
Yeah,
right?
Agreed.
And you gotta believe that enough questions were asked and enough homework was done, and you feel like you're bringing him into the right situation because these are kids too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? People can say whatever they want to say, because I'm going to get hot right now. When I was 20, I am not the same guy I am right now. And I sure as hell wasn't the same guy I am when I was 30 or 32 or 28. All right? Come on, people. I mean, come on. I'm not making excuses. We make mistakes, though. Okay? And his mistake was tragic. I get it.
Yeah.
I get
absolutely.
it. But he's not allowed. He's still here. All right? To the people out there, right, that pound the cement for this shit, he's still alive, though. So you're not supposed to put your arms around this kid? Right? Are you not supposed to? Or are you supposed to throw him out to the wolves because he made a mistake? See if he can learn from it.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And with the people you drafted on purpose a little bit, too, after the fact, I feel like. But what you already had in house with Jordan and the Kobe, you felt like you were bringing him around people and your organization that were going to help him grow.
Absolutely.
So Ruben, with all due respect, because you've done a great job for years, you should know better than to press that conversation with the Philadelphia Eagles. You want to press talent,
especially on the night of the draft.
Yeah, you want no. Oh, you want to press talent on the night of the draft? You want to press shuttle times and fucking jerk off the bullshit like that and press 40 times? Fine, right? Or like, I didn't show well at the combine. You want to press that crap? Press away. But don't press the Eagles in terms of character. Like, I'm not saying they never can make a mistake, but you give them the benefit of the doubt right now. Right? You got to give them the benefit of the doubt because they've done a great job with it.
And he wasn't driving.
I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought the girl was driving. They were racing.
Huh?
Yeah. The other car. Okay, yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the whole thing.
I think
I
he
knew
was
the
driving the
drag-
other
there
car.
was a drag-
Two cars.
It was a drag
right?
race, and I didn't know he was the other one. I knew the girl was
Yeah.
driving the other one.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like, poor decision, terrible decision. It ended up being a tragic decision.
Yeah, oh, it didn't go
Right?
well.
But, like, the kids, he's still alive. So, like I said, are we
Yeah.
supposed to push him away? Or are we supposed to see if we can –
yeah, if you wanted to say something about him being out of shape at the combine and everything, okay, I will give you that. But
do you have
why bring up-
concern? Do you have concerns about him coming in shape?
Yeah, okay.
That's the question you want to
no
ask
question.
it.
I'm fine with that question.
No notes, Wells. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think the other question was a bullshit question.
It's
why we
look,
little crumb.
Yeah.
it's a look at me.
Yeah.
And a parting crumb of the week, an honorable mention, the great Jonathan Gannon. Tampered pre-Super Bowl.
I would say, though, thank
knew
you
he
for
had the job.
higher pick.
Knew he had the job. You're a loser. And we got Sidney Brown for you.
Yes, thank you for the higher pick. Appreciate it.
Right? We got Sidney Brown for him?
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I think that was the pick. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So my guess, Sidney Brown's going to be a 5-time Pro Bowler.
And
Not all pro in him, Wills. Not all pro in. 5-time Pro Bowl.
Great.
5-time Pro Bowl. Maybe even as like a return, like a backup, and it gets like brought
Nola
in.
did have a really good defense.
yeah, they did. They were tough. Yep. And on top of it, a week after he said he loves talking to the media, hasn't talked to the media since, especially after the draft.
Hold on. Hold on. He wasn't in the car that crashed. Joshua, is that true?
No, I think he was driving the other car.
He was driving the other car that was racing the car. You know what I'm saying? Like they was two cars were racing each other.
Okay, it's still tragic.
Yeah, it's
But
absolutely tragic.
But even more to the part, he wasn't driving the car.
No, he was driving the one car. The other car that was driving, people died in.
I understand, but his car didn't crash.
I
So,
know,
like,
a little bit.
He's
but not
responsible for racing.
yes.
Okay, but
Reckless driving and street racing.
yes, but he wasn't the one driving the car. Like
That crashed and killed people. No,
crash and kill, but he's still a part of it. And obviously, they're his friends, so it's a mourning period. Obviously, that we expect anybody to
Probably
go
why
through.
he ate and got fat.
Yep, and you blame yourself, and that makes me respect him more because it's telling me that deep down he is hurting, right?
Yeah.
Deep down he is mourning. Deep down he is blaming himself.
And her blood alcohol was twice the legal limit. That was the other.
Her blood alcohol was.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I didn't read up about it because I wasn't drafting him. Not me personally. Like I'm not Howie, so I didn't do like I trusted Howie in his homework. I just knew there was some kind of going fast that ended up causing kids to die. So that's the most I knew about
It
it.
was
He
an
was
assistant coach and a player, I think, right?
Jeez.
That died.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think the chick was a coach. She was like a recruiting coordinator or something like that.
Staff member and football player Devin Willock. Willock was not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, tragic.
Terrible. It's terrible.
But right now, Jalen Carter is a Philadelphia Eagle, and Jalen Carter is a sensational football player who will be like a Warren Sapp type deal when this is said and done. Teams passed. He drops out of the top 10 per se, goes 9. Will drop out of like the spots he probably should have went at.
You would assume he was probably going to go 5.
Well, I would assume he's better than Paris Hilton. I'll tell you that. He's better than Paris Hilton.
He would have went 5 unless they were just dead set on Witherspoon. I would assume he would have went 5 or 6 once the quarterback's got out of the way.
Well, I would think he should go 3. I think he should have went 3. Should have went 3 at minimum.
Well, Will Anderson's pretty damn good.
Will Anderson went.
He went 3.
Oh, sorry, 4 or 5. Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
4. Yeah,
No, because
I
we
assume
went.
that they wanted a quarterback.
Richardson went 4.
Where's been went 4? No, Arizona's pick. Where
That was
Arizona?
6.
They traded with Houston.
And they took Paris.
Will.
And they took
For
Paris.
Will.
Yeah, they took Paris Hilton.
By
At
the way, we
12.
didn't mention this, but great job by D'Amico Ryans, I thought. The
They get an A+.
Houston Texans get an A as well in my book because they went and got the best QB and the best defensive player in the draft. That's probably not Jalen Carter.
Second best QB.
I mean,
Second best QB.
No, I think
QB.
that Stroud's the best QB.
Yeah, I think they're both going to be. I think they're both going to be.
I would have taken Stroud over Young.
Well, that entire division is full. It's Trevor Lawrence and a bunch of guys who knows how it's going to play out. Because you got Stroud, Richardson, and Levis all in that division.
Yeah, Wilson, I'll say this. I think both of them are going to be really good. So, I think they're 1A, 1B total.
Kobe, he's just tiny.
He doesn't take big hits, bro.
Listen, he's got all
the big hits
to be good.
He's a winner,
Everyone
too.
said that about Kyler. Took a pretty big one this past year.
Yeah, but Bryce Young isn't aloof like Kyler.
NFL guys run fast.
He's tiny. I hear you. I would say he's gonna. For me, he's got to prove it to me, and you don't have to prove it to me. I'm nobody. I'm just sitting in Williamstown, New Jersey. But he's too tiny for me, man. I'd have never took him. But
yeah, I went Stroud.
Great things at Alabama, and I did, like you said.
I said the Greg.
There's great stock there. He's a winner. Good for him. I would have never took him. You know what I mean?
I said tools wise, Stroud's better to Greg. Like he's bigger, he's stronger.
He looks the part more.
He looks the part of the franchise QB. And his luck, I thought he probably fits Carolina a little colder, maybe at times. He could throw through a blizzard type. And I thought what's his face?
Young.
I thought Young would have been a better fit in Houston in the dome. A little more electric with his legs, a little quicker with his legs. But it's the way it went. I think both teams got damn good ones. But I agree with you. Houston, Texas coming back and getting the best player in the draft, which was Will Anderson, is a home run for that organization. And right there, I mean, they've officially turned the corner.
Yeah, I think
they're going to be competitive next year too. Yeah, they'll be competitive next year. Not like winning like 10 games competitive, but like you'll be in dogfights with them.
Yeah.
And on the Jim Irsay, he said Anthony Richardson will start at some point year one.
Yeah, I did see that too.
Good luck.
Yeah, I think my favorite late QB was taken by Vegas, so he'll stink now. But I like Aiden O'Connell. I think Vegas might have stole one there.
The lefty?
He's not a lefty, by the way, but I do like Aiden O'Connell.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go to school, Wells?
Purdue.
Oh, fucking Boilermaker.
He's I watched him a couple times this year. He slinks.
Is he big?
He's probably 6'3".
Yeah.
And he's
didn't run at the combine. Just said, I'm not running. I don't
left-handed. Left-handed.
He's a righty.
Greg believes so.
I like the
ambidextrous. Wilson, is he ambidextrous?
Maybe he's ambidextrous. That's Greg. But Cincinnati took his receiver, who I also like, Charlie Jones.
I got to see where'd Bobo go from UCLA. He did get drafted.
Sean Tucker, undrafted.
Sean Tucker didn't get drafted, yeah.
Big Bobo.
I think Tampa Bay picked him up, though.
Tampa had a good draft, I feel like, too. Just thinking out loud. Like up front.
Seahawks signed Jake Bobo. Ooh, it's a good pick.
Yeah, I agree, Tom.
Seahawks have another good organization that drafts well for the most part.
I mean, the Seahawks make the playoffs every year. It doesn't matter who's on the team, pretty much. Even though I hate Pete Carroll, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Mark, but I think when there's a guy like Anderson on the board, and in most drafts he goes one, depending on needs, if you have a chance to go back up and get him, you absolutely jump on that because you don't know what's coming out next year until next year's over with.
Yeah, as long as I was going to say, take it from a Dolphins fan. If you don't miss, then it doesn't matter. But when you miss, not having picks, it's fucking brutal. You know what I mean? But if you pick your guy, like you get a guy like Will Anderson, you're gooch, dude. You don't worry about next year. You've done good, as they say.
plus you're trying to change a culture down there, right? So you want those guys, right? You want those winners and those leader types.
Yeah, you brought in your defensive and offensive leader.
Swoop, I agree with you to a point. I think Will Anderson's the best. I think Jalen Carter's 1B, in this draft, and then the quarterbacks can go, and you can go from there.
Best defensive lineman is Carter. Anderson, I would agree with Tom, though. I feel like he would have been, if there's always a standout QB that's going to go one, but he was going to be the first defensive player off the board.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And Jalen Carter's right there with him. I mean,
Jalen Carter was the most dominant player in college last year.
Yeah, you can go to
But Will
either.
Anderson's been the best player in college for 2 years.
Yeah. There's a difference here. There's a separation that I talked about with these two guys, right? Will Anderson,
kind of like the QBs.
Yeah, Will Anderson goes one to me. If I'm Carolina or anybody, I'm just you know what, I know what we should do here, but we're not going to do it. Or I would draft Will Anderson and do exactly what Carolina did. Okay, I'm going to draft my guy in C.J. Stroud, right? And watch me. Here I come back up because I said if I was Carolina, I would do the same damn thing.
Okay, gotcha.
I would have went young. I would have said, okay, I'm gonna get my quarterback. Watch me now. Hey, watch me now. Watch me now. Right? Whoa, you see me? No, you don't. Right? Like, watch me now. So like, I would have came back up for that guy because it's hard to hit two guys in a draft, but when you're that early up there, it's easier to hit two guys. And I think both quarterbacks are hit guys. I do. Now I agree with you guys. Young's got to show me something at the next level before you crown him.
I do like him though.
But maybe I would take Stroud size-wise over him.
Yeah, I like Stroud a lot.
So either way, I think both are going to be good pros. So, but I mean, dude, thank God they're out there because I think Houston's off to a great start. But it depends on who their offensive guys are down there and their coaching staff to continue to develop him.
Yeah, I agree.
They got the running game.
When they brought in Frank, they were going to go quarterback, but I couldn't agree with you more. You had a shot at, maybe your next Luke Kuechly, all right, when the Panthers were good, right? And I'm not comparing the dude because Luke, I'm not disrespecting Luke, what a career he had. But, Will Anderson, that's the kind of guy, that's the kind of linebacker, defensive player that, that changes things. That's an impact guy on defense. And, then maybe you try to get your quarterback. I don't know. I hear you.
Madrid, I would have probably said that Carter would have went 5 or 6 just because the quarterbacks were going to go in front of him.
I would have thrown a whole wrench if I was Carolina.
I still thought he was going to go 5 or 6.
I would have went 1. I would have went Anderson 1, and then everybody else would have got their heads would have exploded because they were like, they didn't take Young or Stroud, and then here I come, trade up, here I come, right, and that's how I would have worked it or tried to. But at least
Sonny Weaver Jr. style.
Well, at least I would have known that I'm leaving with the best player in the draft.
I thought there was some draft day action going on. I was like,
because that's my goal. If every year I'm leaving with arguably consider my best player in the draft, I'm winning. I'm winning one way or the other, even if I don't have that great quarterback. So I'm going to win and keep my job. I'll tell you that much. John Lynch does. So Kyle Shanahan does. So if I'm going to the playoffs and my defense is dominant. And I'm winning one way, I'm winning a different type of way. Why not? Everybody says offensive league. I'll just go shut you the fuck down and make it to the playoffs too.
And Madrid forever. I saw your other question. And sorry, Sweeps. I didn't mean to cut you off. I think he said, what was the question? Craig, did you see what the question he flashed before that was? Oh, it's Clifton Penny. That's what it was.
Come on, I'm here, Will. Greg.
I knew it's. I knew I saw it.
Hey, Greg, he came Google. We go, Greg.
I don't know. I always just look for Greg.
Yeah, we all do. It comes and bites us in the face, right in the face. We get bad. Somebody comes right from behind. Correct.
Honestly, I feel great. I feel great about the running back. I feel great about the running back room. I like Gainwell too. I thought Penny was good. I know he's coming off injury, and I like Swift a lot too. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, and Boston.
Yeah, and Boston. We're good.
Boston for the Giants games, and the rest of the guys get to play the other ones.
I mean, Swift to me is he only costs 1.7 on the books, right? And he's in a contract year. So if he leaves next year, we get a 4th or 5th round back in compensation anyway, which is essentially what we gave up because all we did is swap 7. So you're telling me we gave up nothing to get a free year out of it.
It's free year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Like I said, the last thing we'll talk about, the Panthers were as I agree with Tom, you just change everything. If you change everything at the top, you saw that, I think it was the Lions not Lions. Lions were good this year. Whoever was at 3 was willing to trade anyway. You know what I mean? So once you take Anderson, then everybody else is running around.
It
He
was
might even,
Arizona.
he might even get a
Arizona,
ball.
they definitely will in the deal.
He might even get a ball or strike on him because the clock's going to run out. Because once you take Anderson, everybody else is going to get a delay a game. They're going to delay a game. They're going to shift their pants and delay a game. So then you got time to make that. You make that trade. To get back into 3. So. And then you get one of the, if you get back into 3, you're going to get one of the 2 quarterbacks anyway. Obviously, they wanted Young. I get that, but I think the Texans got who they wanted, so you probably would have ended up with Young anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once the Lions
happened, what year was that when that happened?
Once the Lions
jumped
Minnesota was the one that missed the pick.
They ended up with a good player too.
Well, once the Lions did that, we knew that was coming. I think Tommy even said it on air. Hey, come on back home to Philadelphia, DeAndre.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, once they picked Gibbs, yeah.
And how he was living.
You already knew that. I felt like Campbell and DeAndre Swift didn't get along or something.
Yeah, and I'll say Jahmyr Gibbs is a stud. So people like questioning that pick. I don't.
Well, he's like more of
he's like an Alvin Kamara,
a Swiss Army knife type guy. You know, he's
definitely like
run
Yo, and I told people today. I told people on draft night when you talk about Bijan Robinson and when you talk about Jahmyr Gibbs, the position is now officially changed. It's playmakers. That's what running backs are now. You can't even call them running backs. They're playmakers. The Swiss Army guys that can catch it at an elite level and break them to the house running the football. Right? It's just a playmaker. So don't label them early. If you're not labeling it as a running back per se, in your eyes where you draft them, then you consider that's the best player, that's an impact guy, and can do so many things for your offense. Then you go and do it. You know what I mean? Then you go and draft it. So to me, I don't question that stuff anymore, unless it's like a bruiser. I'm not drafting a bruiser or just a pure running back in the first round. But Bijan and Jahmyr.
Yeah, I think Atlanta gets a D.
Are playmakers. Bijan Robinson is not just a great running back. He's an elite receiver. So it's a playmaker they got. I get it. Who are they going to take there? Will Levis? Who do you want to take there, Wells?
I would have taken the best defensive player. Jalen Carter.
Okay.
They just had a 5th-round running back that ran for 1,200 yards. I mean, why? Why? It's unnecessary. You don't take running backs in the top 10. I don't care. You don't got to chucks me on this. I don't care.
Who's chucksing you?
I'm just saying I don't take a running back in the top 10. I don't care.
Well, not when you're Atlanta.
I don't care who.
I'm not
agree with you there.
I'm not crowning their pick. I'm saying he's just the best. He's probably the best player on the board there.
I'm happy that Atlanta took him because then thank God we wouldn't have a chance to take him.
I mean, it was him or Carter were the 2 best players on the board there. So I'm not saying I agree with their pick. Because I would have been interested to see if we took him if he came to us.
I kind of want to see what would have happened too.
I would have liked to see Howie panic.
We weren't going to take him.
I want to see the script on that one. What happens when that comes out? Like, was there a beat? Was there?
Dude, you just sound like a 70-year-old man. Sorry, Greg. He sounds like a 70-year-old grumpy old goddamn man.
He does.
I think
not what you do. Not what you do. It's not what you do. Exactly. It's not what you do, Tom. It's not. You just talk right back, top 10.
I'm just being honest with you. Guess what? Howie Roseman's not a moron, so he would have never taken him top 10.
So I'm a moron?
Yes.
Dude, bro, that's a luxury.
If you would have taken him top 10, then yes.
Most teams in the top 10 stink. We don't.
Agreed.
So you made my point.
So why?
Great show, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
For a running back?
How am I wasting for a playmaker, Brian?
I'd rather you take him. You would rather have him over Jalen Carter.
No, both on the board. I'd probably have Carter.
Okay. All right. I'll go. Okay. That's a good answer.
But my whole philosophy, my whole thought process, if Carter and all those guys that I liked are off the board, it's a no-brainer.
Nope.
When I just played a Super Bowl, yes.
Nope.
If I'm a usual top 10 team, no.
I think for us, it's even a more of a no because of the way we run our offense. Anyone's going to succeed at running back because of our good O-line is and how Jalen Hurts runs the ball.
I said that more than you did this year, so I hear you. All right, and just because I've been on more than you, not because I'm smarter than you. I mean that's a given. But I just said it a lot.
I'm going to take an IQ test on air.
Yeah, I mean whatever that entails, I'm in. You know what I mean?
It entails me beating you and then talking about it for next year. So let's do it.
Love to have her. You know what I mean? So make a call.
Remember zero for your life. We bring that back out.
I love how you just want to switch this up, but I'm good.
You call yourself smarter than me.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, I'm not over here. I'm not over here reaching at things.
I think you are reaching. I think you're reaching.
No, I got the mouse really close. It's actually a nice setup. I figured out over here where I can put my legs up a little bit.
He's got a great setup.
Oh, my legs are wide open. I mean, you guys wouldn't enjoy it, but some people in the house would.
Sure. I know time.
It's after midnight.
Yeah, guy know Tommy. Get a good look, Doc, would you?
What are you seeing there?
I can't believe the Bruins blew a 3-1 lead.
Couldn't happen to a better team.
I know. Hilarious.
And a better fan base.
Against Bobrovsky, too.
I love Penny and Swift, though. So if you're asking me if I would have had Jalen.
I like Penny a lot.
If you're asking me if I would have had Jalen Carter and DeAndre Swift, or if I would have had Bijan Robinson, I would have told you option one.
Oh, yeah.
I would agree. 100%.
I'm not a moron.
Yeah.
I just said if he's the best player on the board, I'm not reaching for a goddamn corner at 10 if Bijan's the best player.
I think it's a unique situation, and that's why I think, both of you are right. I mean, that's the way Wilson feels. But predominantly, when you're drafting that high, your team sucks, so you need other needs. You know what I mean? So if you were taking a running back, the guy or a guy's running for his life, he has no chance. He's not Barry Sanders. But the Eagles they were in the Super Bowl. They're delicious. They just happened to make a move, and they fell at 10. So if you wound up going that route, which it's all it is hypothetical because it didn't happen. But if they wound up going that route, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. But like I said, Wilson's.
I mean,
right.
he probably would have been pretty damn good on the Eagles. I'll give you that.
No, I mean, we probably put up 40 a game. We probably put up 35 a game.
Our luck, he got hurt in 3 weeks, like Breece Hall, and then we're right back to square one.
A little bit better than Breece Hall, though.
I'm just saying, the top running back taken last year. That's all.
Oh yeah, he's a little bit better than Breece Hall.
I mean, I would hope so. He was taken a lot higher.
Well, it's because it's factual.
I mean, he looked great on tape. I still think that no one plays any defense in the Big 12, so got to show me.
Oh, I mean, there ain't a player that doesn't have to show us. So I agree with you. I'm happy with what we got. I'm happy where we fell. I'm happy somebody took it out of our hands. I'm happy it didn't become like people's like Jalen Carter or Bijan Robinson. I think it would have blew up this fan base a little bit because the right pick is Jalen Carter there. That's the right pick. And it's not just because, it's what wins. It's because he wins.
Grown man.
I just think if you watch college football,
it's because he wins.
If you watch college football, you watch number 88 dominate for Georgia all year. I mean, he's all over the field.
What I just said, babe. You know what I mean?
It's an easy pick.
Yeah, he wins.
Just on our way out the door. Grown man for the Bruins crying in the stands. I mean, like people, you have to check your beanbag somewhere.
Probably Portnoy's boy.
You have to check your beanbag. You can be, you can be passionate all you want. I'm at Game 7. I love the Bruins so much. And you're crying like you're a freaking 5-year-old. Grow up, loser. You're
2023 sweeps. They're all crying.
Jason, before Wilson goes here, Jason, Breece is not better than Bijan Robinson. I'll bet you whatever sandwich you want that Robinson has more total yards than Breece Hall next year. So, however much you want.
Jason, I'd hop on that bet. Atlanta, not great.
Is that a fifth rounder?
Jets just kind of got a decent quarterback in there. Might throw the ball a little better this
year. Well, you're an idiot.
Hop on that bet.
You're an idiot because you just said a fifth rounder ran for 1,200 last year.
Tyler Algier, I like him. I don't know why. Cool. I would just let him keep playing.
The Bijan should run for 1,500.
Or Bijan gets beat out by him.
100, dude. I mean, what are you guys? 100, Jason. Jesus, goodness gracious. Yeah, sure, I'm in. Bijan more total yards than Breece Hall next year. Well, I feel a camp injury coming for me.
Witness. Here we are with training camp.
I think you're good, Tom.
I feel great about it.
I mean, they picked him 7th overall. You think they're going to use him a ton?
I think he's going to get the football.
Yeah, I think he's going to get the ball a lot. I just thought that Tyler Algier had a good year.
I think it's a stupid pick. I got a guy in my backyard. Jalen Carter's in my backyard. You know what I mean? If I'm Atlanta, like that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer pick. But I see what they're doing. They do have a good offense, per se.
They ran the ball well.
If you have a quarterback, though.
Well, I guess they're going to give this kid a chance, and then if they stink, guess where they are next year?
Right? Desmond Ritter?
Desmond Ritter.
Then they're Caleb Williams next year.
I was going to say Caleb Williams is the.
It's all set up. I mean, they did it the smart way. Listen,
they did top guys next year.
Listen, they did it the smart way.
They would have been the top 2 this year, probably.
Yes, they would have been.
But listen, they did it the smart way, Wills. They didn't reach for a Will Levis.
Yeah,
right.
True. I agree.
In reality, they did it the smart way. Screw it. We'll come back next year for one.
Hey, if Ritter stinks, we're gonna come back next year.
Yeah,
and it was a third rounder 2 years ago.
And if Ritter
go wide out in the first round last year, right?
Yeah, and if he can play, no, 2 years ago.
Okay. Drake London. They did Drake London last year.
Oh, Drake. I'm sorry. Yeah, Pitts was 2 years ago.
This was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so they got the whole thing lined up.
Yeah.
Now you give a guy that costs you nothing the keys. See if he can play, and if he can't, guess where you're going to be next year.
That's true.
You're going to be up there
right.
anyway.
You're right about that.
And then you trade the world for Caleb Williams.
The only thing that hurts you is that your division's weak. You might win some games.
Yeah.
Weak.
If they're in the NFC East, they could almost chalk up being in the top 3 pick.
Listen, great show.
Yeah.
I do think Rashad Penny to the Madrid's forever earlier. I think the Penny and DeAndre Swift's a great combo with those other guys too. I just think it creates competition. A lot of good things come from it. So excited for Eagles football, but we got Phillies baseball, baby, and we got Boston Sixers tomorrow night. Let's go. Game 1, boys.
You don't even got to switch back and forth because the Phillies are in LA and they go on after the game. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
What a night we have in store for you tomorrow. Going to be great. I'll be on with live reaction, second half Sixers tomorrow. How to move the lessons around. It's a big series. So, sometimes it's bigger than me. And I got to be here for it. I got to fight with my guys in the second half of this basketball game and fight for a win. So I'll be Pomsy tomorrow night right here, HUD Radio, same place, same time.
In the gyno chair.
Gynoed up.
Are you doing a post game tomorrow?
No, it's going to be, it might run like 10 minutes into a post game. Depending on how we do, 10, 15, 20, something like that.
I was just saying, if you're doing a post game, I could hop on after work, but I don't know. If you're not, that's not me.
Well, what's your post time, Brian?
I don't know. Probably 10:30.
I don't know. Like where we're going to be at that point.
That's what I'm saying. Well, it's probably too far past.
Well, how about we dabble when we get there?
That's fine.
We cross that bridge, as they say.
When we get there, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but you gotta text me for that bridge.
Well, I'm just saying, I get done work at 10, so I won't be able to be there on to like 10:30. So if you're still on, I'll hop on. If not, no big deal.
Jay, all love right back, brother. It's agree disagree radio.
I think they're gonna win tomorrow.
I do too.
Fossils on the table.
I only got like $58 left in my DraftKings because I have a lot of Sixers. I have like a lot of Sixers prop bets going for them to win the series. So I have like $50 left.
I had them to win the Eastern Conference, so it's
but I think
past the series.
I think all 50 is going right on the plus 10 tomorrow too. All 50 on the plus 10.
I just can't see how they're. I can't believe they're getting double-digit points. It's amazing to me.
Well, we'll revisit this tomorrow when they lose by 12. So, Swoop, no, we'll be everywhere, brother. We'll be everywhere tomorrow night. So, for Nick Delgazzo, Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic, I'm Tom Arnone. We love you all. We can't thank you enough for listening, hitting the like, hitting the subscribe. The best in the business. No notes. Get your Boom Run shirts. HUD merch.
Schwarbomb.
Oh, that's the other side. HUD merch. See the little HUD logo around the sleeve. I love that, by the way. I love the sleeve. I love
branding.
Branding talk. Everything you get. HUDmerch.com, baby. And your stuff actually gets delivered to you. So make sure you stay tuned for that delivery.
I just ordered a good amount. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, they're great stuff. HUDmerch.com is where you can get all our merch. Support us. Support the brand. We love you.
I thought the Georgia Eagle one looked pretty good.
Yeah.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah, I got Casa, Schwarba Bomb. Schwarber one. Looks good on him.
I bought a Schwarber one. Looks great.
Yeah, looks good on him. So, I mean, we're doing a great job.
Probably not going to look good as me as it does on him. He's a little cuter than I am, but still like the shirt.
Yeah, depending on the day. Depending on the day, bro. Depending on the day. We're brought to you by our doc. Going to make Joel Embiid's knee right. Dr. Paul Idell. Special. I don't put that on him. Dr. Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. This is the first show in the history of A2D Radio where I've done, since studio days, where I've done it sitting back. Times are changing.
How'd it feel?
Relaxed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Felt good in my loins, you know?
I didn't realize that I didn't realize that Bobrovsky was the Panthers goalie. Yeah.
There's two ex-Flyers.
Not
Alex
the huge-
Lyon and Sergei Bobrovsky.
Guy that I should.
How about Radko Gudas?
It's like, and every time these guys leave town, they just turn into stars.
Even coaches do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Hacksaw now coaches. You know,
I can't believe both underdogs won Game 7 today in the hockey. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's about plus 230.
That's amazing.
Favorite for minus 250.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Hit the like, subscribe. We're out of here.